fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Vice President Vance is on a personal and diplomatic trip to India.
Vance is meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi as New Delhi looks to strengthen defense and commercial ties with the Trump administration and negotiate a deal to avoid tariffs. The U.S. is India's largest trading partner, and the two countries aim to seal a bilateral trade agreement this year.
Smile.
The family were greeted at the airport with a classical Indian dance performance and paid a visit to Akshardham Hindu Temple in New Delhi after their arrival. Vance's wife, Usha, is a practicing Hindu whose parents are from India. Modi was among the first leaders to visit President Trump after he returned to the White House and has been signaling compliance with the administration's demands. But Trump has targeted India with a 26% levy, part of which has been paused. He's continued to call India a tariff abuser. I'm Jennifer King.
Authorities say at least 3 Haitian soldiers have been killed in an apparent gang ambush happened in a town on the outskirts of Haiti's capital of Port-au-Prince over the weekend. Townhall.com. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer rejected claims that deported Salvadoran national Kilmar Abrega Garcia did not receive due process in his removal from the United States last month.
Abrego Garcia, an illegal immigrant who was deported to El Salvador last month, despite a withholding order preventing him from being deported to that specific country over fears he would be persecuted by a gang there. The Supreme Court ruled the Trump administration must facilitate Abrego Garcia's return to the U.S. and continue with his deportation case, quote, as it would have been had he not been improperly sent to El Salvador. But Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele has repeatedly said he will not release Abrego Garcia from the country. Emmer pointed to Abrego Garcia's rejected asylum claim and subsequent deportation order after hearing in 2019 as evidence of proper due process. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Recapping the hour's lead story, the Vatican reports the death of Pope Francis at the age of 88. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday.
Yeah, buddy.
Made it. Easter
Welcome
weekend.
to it and welcome through it.
Back to school, back to work for everybody. For those that had a 3-day weekend, probably a little bit more difficult to get out and about this morning.
There's a lot more meandering.
But at least the sun's shining.
Yeah.
And weather's going to be nice. Pretty much. Actually, I'm looking all week. It's not bad if you like upper 80s all week. It's sunny. I don't see much about winds either. 10, 15. So I think this week's going to be pretty high when it comes to the weather.
Yeah.
A sprunger.
Yeah. A springier week. How was your Easter weekend?
Good. It was pretty low key. I didn't do as many things as you did. I
continue the tradition of Kim waking up early and painting your head and hiding you somewhere in the house.
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty low key. Just kind of hung out, did some errands and stuff.
Yeah.
Just kind of hung around the house.
Nice.
most of the weekend. And
Yeah, I feel like this weekend went by really, really fast, but also it was a very long weekend just because there was so much going on.
yeah.
There were,
You had a busy weekend
activities
with
all over the place.
WrestleManias and everything else. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Easter.
can appreciate, a good long show, but man, that's not supposed to happen.
No. I guess Roy's not in the office there.
Not in his room. Well, that's just going to continue to ring. But yeah, no, it was with WrestleManias and all that. It was a very busy weekend, but we made it through. Yesterday was Easter's. The kids had a good old Easter. They both got good sized baskets and got to do a little hunt themselves.
Did they do like an Easter egg hunt thing, or
they get the initial loaded basket and then we kind of do like a little mini hunt around the house.
Yeah, but my family never did the hunt. Like I did some at like other people's places, but I've never did it. Like at our house, it was like Christmas, where you woke up Easter morning, went downstairs, and there was because it was my brother and I. There's usually 2 baskets, so one basket full of and they were, because it was my brother and I, they had to be equally loaded. Like if he got 3 Cadbury eggs, I better get 3 Cadbury eggs, and we always had actual hard-boiled eggs because that was something that usually that week, couple days before weekend, whenever it was, a couple days before Easter, that was like the tradition. We all sat in the kitchen and got the Paws Easter egg dyes and did that. So yeah, we woke up like Christmas morning with 2 baskets, my brother's basket, my basket, and equally, like I said, there was. His has 3 Reese's eggs. Mine only has 2. What's up with that? We would definitely compare notes on that.
Here's the thing. I would be more apt to enjoy Easter eggs, and I mean like actual eggs, if the people that made them didn't boil the hell out of the egg. What's wrong with the nice medium hard-boiled egg?
You need to talk to your cooking people.
Like, it always bothers. That's the one thing about Easter eggs or hard-boiled eggs in general, is when you, like, boil that thing until the yolk turns gray, it's not good anymore.
The part that I think is a little more weird is not even the cooking of the egg, is the fact that there's literally a hard-boiled egg just painted up sitting in this basket for a day or 2.
Yeah.
And then you say, let me chow into this bad boy.
Yeah. It's been sitting out at room temperature for a while.
That seems stupid to me.
But it's been cooked, so all the bad stuff's been, boiled off.
I guess.
We boiled off all the bad.
I know, but just the thought of, hey, this egg's been sitting here for 4 days. Let me chow into that bad boy.
Jump
right
on
now.
in. Here's the thing that you don't think about when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Is the people that are responsible for hiding those eggs, oh boy, do they have a head count.
Yeah.
Because if one egg goes missing for just long enough, in about middle of June, that thing's really going to become a problem.
I feel like that's happened to everybody that does this every time. One time. There's been the one year where one egg got forgot, and it was a real egg. And yeah, you find that one about 2 days later.
And this is why only mom or only dad is responsible for the hiding of the eggs.
Right.
Because dad's just going to stick one in like the vent somewhere and like screw it back down so the kids will never find that one. Ooh, I was crafty. What's that smell?
That's like,
did you leave the gas on?
That reminds me of the scene from Dirty Work where they hide all the fish. And then
the prolonged scene of them just standing there holding fish while chaos ensues, and we don't get to see any of it.
Yeah,
it's just described. Oh my God! Now you're using that gun on me.
Yeah.
It's one of the. It's cinema. It's pure cinema.
Artie Lang and Norm Macdonald. That was one of the best. Scenes. Yeah, you're right. You're not
everything
wrong.
goes quiet. And he dropped the fish. That was the only reaction he had.
Yeah, and the whole premise was they were trying to, because they started a revenge for hire business. And so they wanted to get back at the neighbor for the loud parties and everything. So they decided to hide a bunch of fish in his mansion. Turns out the guy's like a drug lord, and some drug deal gone bad goes down right at the same moment they're hiding fish in the next room. So that's pretty the premise of the scene.
That's
but it's funny.
great.
But they
yeah.
just keep hiding fish under the couch cushions and whatnot. It's pretty funny.
Basically that, but with an Easter egg. And that's why one person is responsible. Because I know, dads, we're equal parts. We want to win.
Yeah.
Because, it's just our inner, competitiveness. We want to win. But at the same time, you don't want to deal with the after effects of this if the kids don't find it. So
That's true.
You want to win, but you also want to win, or you want them to win eventually.
I just don't think people hide real eggs anymore. Like, I think most people just get the plastic eggs and they'll put a candy in it or money or whatever in there.
Yeah, I'm still a fan, though, of the traditional, gather the family around the table and of course, you said, paws.
Yeah, get the paws, die, and the little Easter egg hangers.
I ate the green tablet. Well, it's going to be an interesting week on the toilet.
That's right. No green on the eggs. No green eggs and ham rework here. So, but it was a pretty good weekend. Just kind of low key. Didn't really do a whole lot of heavy lifting or anything.
It's funny to me how certain holidays just naturally have a meat associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Thanksgiving with your turkey and stuff, but who decided that we're just going to have ham on Easter?
I think ham is the official meat for people that don't like turkey.
It's the official meat for white people?
Well, I mean, it's just like they say, I don't want turkey. All right, get a ham.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, there's only so many meats that people eat regularly that's like a big group roast.
Yeah.
So it's either beef roast or some kind of roast. That's popular at more Christmas, I think.
Yeah, that's why I admire, my brethren in the South, because only, a people as slack-jawed, for lack of a better term, as the South, would take a protein as, weak as a fish. And we're going to make us a fish fry. That's going to be our celebration. We're having us a fish fry.
That's because they fried it. And you can fry anything.
Anything.
It's good. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and, But that or pig, because that's the pig roast, but that's generally a barbecue thing.
And that's also very, much more Spanish traditional, or Southern tradition.
Yeah, more
because
Southern
Samoan
too.
cultures do it, it's.
Yeah, they're all done a different way.
Yeah.
Like there's the the Samoans where they bury the pig, and I think the Matanza is a buried style. But like barbecue, and I've seen they'll either spit roast it, butterfly it, and cook it on the grill. Usually it's an above ground cook. But more of the like you said, the Samoan culture or that Polynesian culture. And then the Matanza and the Mexican culture, generally they bury the pig and cook it underground.
You know what I've never seen, in real life? I've never seen an apple in a pig's mouth.
Only on TV.
Is that a thing that's done, or is that just in cartoons?
Well, and to be honest, the only time I ever saw that was a suckling pig, where they put the whole dang pig on a platter and put it on the. Most hogs are too dang big to be doing something like that. Those little suckling pigs that you could. Now that's the thing. I don't see people eat suckling pigs often. I remember seeing it in cartoons, but I remember when I worked in I did a lot of jobs when I was a teenager. I worked in a meat room for a minute, for a year or two, and they sold suckling pigs, like pigs that were that dinner plate size that you put the apple in the mouth.
Right.
They were sad looking.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of, because they're already gutted and everything, and so they're kind of skinny and small. I don't know. None of it looked appetizing to me.
I have a problem eating anything that's going to have its head still attached.
Well, and then
it's the same reason I've never been able to really comfortably eat crawdads.
And then let me throw another little, a popular cuisine in soul food culture for New Year's is eating a whole hog head. Like the head of the hog.
Right.
That's very popular. And I remember when I worked at the meat room, right around the holidays, that week between Christmas and New Year's, on the shelf, we had a dozen of those heads just sitting there, staring at you, smiling at you. Literally, it's a hog head with a white tray and wrapped around the cellophane.
Oh, and the most deceiving names possible. My mom, she loves, and I mean loves, head cheese.
Yeah. People ate that crap out of that
it.
stuff. We'd sell it at the deli night. I couldn't understand it.
Makes no sense.
South's head cheese are the most disgusting things ever invented by human
Yeah.
beings, as far as I'm concerned. But people buy that up.
And I'm a man who enjoys a nice olive loaf every now and again. So I know from weird, gross food.
Well, that's my experience in that meat room. That's where ever since that, I don't eat lunch meats with loaf at the end. I don't.
That makes sense.
That is my
having seen how the loaf gets made.
That's my own personal rule. I don't eat. Now, oddly enough, I'll eat a meatloaf or something that's homemade, but olive loaf, luncheon loaf, macaroni loaf. I've seen that jobber. No, we're not doing that. But I'll tear up some bologna.
I'll have to find the picture, but somebody it was like a bunch of different like types of luncheon meat, and then I think like olives and like pimentos, and made a clown face out of it.
Yeah.
And it was just, they were selling it as clown loaf.
Clown loaf.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, I mean,
that's less disturbing for the sandwich eater and more for the maker.
Yes.
Like that'll really mess up the maker because you're sitting there slathering mayonnaise across a face. You can only do that so many times, in good conscience.
Although I would love, like, if they got like a big red cherry tomato for the nose,
it's right down the.
That would be kind of funny. So
it's a good look.
It is not bad.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you the rundown. We do have a busy show for you here. Here in just a few minutes after we do the weather and all that good stuff, we're going to be talking with Denise Jackson and Dana Sanchez about this Saturday night. They got a singing contest happening at the Roswell Communal Theater, and want to invite everyone out to participate in that. So we'll talk with the ladies here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have, we got two guests coming in. Lauren Dickinson's going to join us from the Roswell Refuge. Coming up here Friday night is their annual That 70s Dance, where their big fundraising event for the Roswell Refuge and their same program. That's a subsidy program that helps victims of sexual assault and all that. But anyway, Denise will join us to talk about That 70s Dance this Friday. And then Don Weld will join us in the bottom half of the hour. And I believe he'll be wearing his Alzheimer's Association hat today and give us an update there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to replay our interview we had last week with Peggy Boland talking about Camp Invention, which will be happening the first week in June at All Saints Catholic School. They've been doing this for many years now, and it is a great full STEAM camp for kids entering kindergarten through 6th grade, and it's a lot of fun. But anyway, we'll play that interview for you in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local, national variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a gander at your weather. Like I said, pretty nice week weather-wise.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. We have high pressure parked over the desert southwest, and that'll be keeping things sunny for us. Our afternoon highs in the mid-80s. For the overnight hours, we'll have clear skies and our low in the mid-40s. Looks like mid-80s again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we keep the sunshine. We'll start warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the upper 80s, but it will stay sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 41%. Winds currently out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Looks like we're going to be hanging in the 80s for a good hunk of this week. Sunny and 83 for a high today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight, overnight low of 50. Winds out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny, upper 80s, 87 for a high tomorrow. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, we're looking at clear skies and an overnight low of 53. South winds 5 to 10. 88 and sunny for your Wednesday. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny and 88 for Thursday. And then Friday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 81. Friday night, in the weekend, they're looking at good chances of moisture. 40% chance at showers Friday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 56, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms Saturday, partly cloudy and 77, 30% chance Saturday night, and a 20% on Sunday with a high of 85. So we'll see. We do have all week for them to start messing with those rain chances. You know how it is. Start the week, they'll start at like 40, 50%, and by the time we get there might be like a 20% or something like that. But we'll see. As of right now, they're talking good rain chances for the weekend. All right, 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and pause for a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with Denise and Dana about the singing contest at the community theater this Saturday. Don't go away.
Hey, Roswell, during these unprecedented times when others are raising prices, Roswell Ford is lowering ours with employee pricing for everyone. So you pay what we pay. Only at Roswell Ford. Make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, and we have them for less. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you and perform oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for everyone, get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new low, subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Expires in month's end.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. Dine in or carry out. Sample the best Asian cuisine in town, like their stir-fried rice with pork, chicken, beef, or all three. How about their pad thai chicken, sesame chicken, or sweet and sour chicken? Or try their glass noodle or Thai beef salad. Dine in or call ahead and pick up at the Asian Market today. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra presents Kinderman Plays Beethoven, Saturday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. William Kinderman returns to Roswell to perform Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 5, Emperor, along with works by Weber, Dvorak, and Richard Strauss. Tickets are on sale now and are available at roswellsymphony.org or by calling 575-623-5882. Kinderman Plays Beethoven, Saturday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell, paid in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we have Dana Sanchez and Denise Jackson back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yes, talking a little singing. Oh, you got to get on that microphone there.
Don't be scared of the mic. It is your friend.
Definitely need it Saturday night.
Yes.
Because they'll need the microphone. Although, community theater, you could belt out a tune and hear you in the back there, but it'll be helpful for the judges and everybody else if you're on the microphone.
Yes.
But this Saturday night, we'd love to invite everyone out to the community theater. Going to have another singing contest. Kind of talk a little bit about this. I missed when you guys were in talking about the kind of how this started. So I think that was one of the days I had to go to Lubbock or something for a doctor's appointment. But talk a little bit about this singing contest, because you guys had back about a month ago had kind of a tryouts, or what I guess you could say, like auditions. Yeah. Yes. And then now we're doing the contest. So kind of tell me a little bit background about how this all kind of started.
Well, my daughter, she's been singing since 5 years old.
Okay.
And she was singing with her singing coach for a long time.
Okay.
And her singing coach, was like, I'm kind of gonna go ahead and let it go.
All right.
And
she said, "I'm out of the singing coach business."
She retired.
She retired, and we miss her.
You know what? That happens. You know, you've been doing it for a while, and at some point you're like, "I'm ready to not do this anymore." So that happens.
Yes. And so we just wanted her to continue to sing. So we kind of.
So
I brought the idea up to Denise, and I was like, and me and my husband thought about it, and we were like, let's just see if we can do it. And
so kind of saying, you know what? We're going to dangle another carrot.
Yes.
And say, give her motivation to want to keep singing and do this. So,
give
a
lot of kids motivation.
It kind of spawned a little bit bigger, and now everybody can get a chance to do it here. So I'm guessing the folks from the auditions last month, are they the ones that are going to be competing Saturday, or is this going to be an open kind of deal?
No, the ones that auditioned, those are the ones that are going to be competing.
So now we get to see them compete and square off, and then I'm guessing by the end of the night we'll have a winner here.
Yes, there's going to be the first, second, and third.
Okay.
And then we're also before the event and completely starts for the singing contest, we're going to do. We own a 360 photo booth, so
cool.
we're going to have that out there.
Families
from 3
can come
to
out.
5, yes, and enjoy the.
And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically they put you in the middle, and then they get you to do things. And the camera kind of spins around you and takes pictures, and then when you get to see the final result, it kind of makes you look like a baller gangster, like depending on what you do. Like if you try to do like the cool looks and stuff, it kind of gives you that like Marvel movie Cineverse kind of look, like you're standing on the hill after the battle and just looking at the carnage. It kind of gives you those kind of photos.
Mike, I never look that cool when I do it. I'm just gonna say that's never how it works for me.
Me either.
But it's a lot of fun.
I got a picture of from every angle of my finger buried in my nose or something like that. Yeah, but it is kind of cool if you've never seen it. Cool. And like, have you ever been on like someone's social media and you see this video of them and the camera's like spinning around and they're doing like you see them at like different events around town. It's probably your camera. but that's what it does. And so if you come on out to the singing contest, get there a little early, and then you can kind of get your own little 360 photo or video kind of going on here. So it's pretty cool if you've never seen it. So. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very just gee whiz curious. Like that's an investment, but what is something like if someone went online to buy one of those? Are we talking like 10 grand? I have no idea.
They're not.
I have no idea what they cost.
I would you want to at least spend a good maybe $4,000 on them.
I have no idea. I'm just thinking. I don't know. You get like get a mortgage out for that thing? Or what do you gotta do?
And you do have to pay monthly.
I'm about to say, it's not something you just pick up on the shelf and whip out your credit card on.
And you have to learn the programs, which they change every single month.
I'm sure it's a little bit more complicated than push button to start spinning, push button to stop spinning, you know.
Right. Go, stop.
Right.
And then, we get to decorate your background. So I do all of that for each event.
Nice.
So it takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it.
Cool. So come see the fruits of the labor Saturday night. Get there early. Yes. And of course, now how many singers do we have competing this year?
We have 8.
8 different group. And what's the ages of these singers?
The age limit was from 7 to.
I love
17.
Okay.
I think it was.
I love how you look at me because
it was
friend.
She's like, hold on, let me ask. Hold my daughter. Hold on.
because friend, this was your whole idea. Like you came up with all of this, and you look at me, and I'm like, 17 was the oldest. I remember that.
10 through 17.
10 through 17. Very good.
Because I remember because my daughter's 18 and she's too old.
Just missed the window here.
Yes.
That's why she's judging. Just kidding.
No. I'm one of the judges. And
John Coleman,
okay.
Trisha Hart.
Good deal.
Yes.
Folks, veterans of the Roswell Community Theater.
There you go. Yes, we're collaborating.
Yeah. And we got together with them because my daughter also did the Santa talent search.
Oh, yeah, I've done that a few years.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Grinch has done that a few
years.
There you go.
I
was the Grinch.
Don't blow your cover, Mike.
Very cool. But so it'll be this Saturday night, April 26th, at the Roswell Community Theater.
1717 South Union.
Yeah. Now, is this show like your other shows where you can get advance tickets online, or can you just show up that night and get them? Or
no, it's a free event.
so you don't need tickets. It's completely free.
We made it all free. It's just something we did for the kids to come out.
Excellent. So we just want to make sure we fill the theater and root these singers on
and
for
show
the
them some love.
Great
And
entertainment.
they are so talented. I was blown away. Some of these kids, they are
absolutely
really good.
As I did the joking and stuff as the Grinch, but yeah, some of those folks are very, very talented, way more talented than I could. And I felt weird because I had to like bag on them, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know, they're like kids. I'm like, I'm not winning in this one. I'm gonna look
don't
like a
make
jerk
them
either
cry.
If I go hard in the paint, there's gonna be people laughing. They're gonna hate me.
Oh gosh! But to be 10 years old and be that brave to get up there,
but they did
that's
amazing. Yeah, these kids are great, and I'm telling you, especially when you see a few of the ones that are probably a little closer to 17, you're going to be like, well, they might be on a stage somewhere, or they're good enough to get paid to actually do this. That's what I meant. Unlike us at karaoke night.
Yeah. And there is cash. They're going to win cash.
Oh yeah, there's cash prizes and everything for first through third place there.
And we got I went all out, so just leave it that way.
She is a good party planner. Let's just say that.
Good deal. So how's like the night going to go? Because there's eight competitors, and they each sing like one or two songs.
So we had given them a choice to either sing one or two. A majority of them are singing two. I think we have like one that's only going to sing one.
We have to do it all one shot. Right now.
and there, some of them, including my daughter, is singing in Spanish. So it's going to be neat. It really is, yeah.
That's the thing too. Is I'm sure like they're going to cover all genres and stuff. So you probably get like, and that's cool that we're going to even throw like some maybe cultural music that'll be sung during.
Yes, definitely. There's gospel music there.
Yes.
We have some singing Adele. It's just mixed.
So a little pop, little bit songs you heard of, and then stuff that might be stuff you heard at church or something like that.
Yes,
very
exactly.
Cool. Love that. Yep. It's because it's great to see kids singing. I don't know. It just seemed like when I was a kid, whatever was on like the hot channel or whatever, that's what everyone listened to. Now it's so many genres and things.
Oh, my daughter's old school.
Yeah,
she's singing back in the 50s.
She busting out some doo-wop and everything else in
there. She does.
I think I heard her do Chubby Checker the other day.
She's
different. Done back there doing Satchmo. But I love that. That's cool.
She's an old soul. I don't know where she just.
Well, it's good that the kids, because and I get it. When I was a kid, I was the same way, but man, when I hear kids like today, like the one that gets me to this day, and this one's a bit extreme, but a few years ago, I was interviewing some kids in Artesia, sports deal, and we got sidetracked, and I started talking about the movie Back to the Future.
Oh, great movie.
They literally, I could have been speaking Chinese to these kids. They had no earthly idea what I was talking, and they were high school age, juniors, I'm guessing, somewhere in that ballpark.
What?
And I'm like, okay, you may have never seen the movie, but how have you not heard of the movie? Or it's literally on TV, like every given day. If you got like 100 channels, every given day there's Back to the Future probably playing on one of them. One of the Back to the Future. It just blew me away like that. So it's like I get it. You don't have to know it intimately, but like when I was a kid, I was aware of 50s music and stuff.
Yes.
My parents, today it's good that kids know about music that was made before 2023. You know what I mean?
Yes. And she does. She knows a lot of movies and music. We played this.
She can have a job in radio like me someday.
Right?
That's the useless knowledge gets you.
She can
talk. But yeah, so it sounds like a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun.
And so bring the family out, come and root on you, because especially if you've got friends or folks performing, get out there and support them. Get out there and pack the house and cheer them on.
I want to go ahead and announce.
Let's announce. You want to announce our singers?
Yes, our contestants are Gloria Morales.
Okay.
Ana E. Aguilar.
All right.
Mallory Sanchez. Ignacio Villalobos. Juliana Perez. Darren Arliano. Oliviana Contreras. And Yorico Flores.
All right. So. I'm saying is, fellas, I heard a few names, but looks like the ladies are dominating this morning. I know you fellas can sing too.
Hey, don't count out those boys. I've heard them. Don't count them out.
No, they're all happy. They're all like, man, I love the ratio here. The guys and gals is good for me.
Yes. We did have some strong girls in there. Very strong.
Well, I'm hoping this is the first annual. So, a few more of these. So we'll drop the gauntlet for next year and say, fellas, time to represent.
So. And we were just talking about wanting to do another one and hopefully getting, some more kids involved and
make it a tradition.
Yes, I'm really hoping that we can. It seems like they're enjoying it.
There's a few 9-year-olds out there listening and are thinking maybe I can do this next year.
Wasn't there one little girl, her little sister had come and she was very sad that she wasn't old enough
just
yet.
missed the cutoff.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
you got to have it just for her now. Just
right? She needs a chance.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to be a great night of entertainment for free.
Right.
Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything other than a trip to the theater.
And we want to also, I want to say thank you to Daniel Cidio for letting us put the flyers.
Yes, thank our sponsors for this.
Our number one sponsor is Legendary Services, which my husband is part of.
Nice. Is that the camera?
No,
different? Okay.
No, that's ours.
Okay.
No, but my husband and his boss from Legendary Services out of Lovington, New Mexico.
Okay, very cool.
He was our sponsor, our number one, and he's helped us a lot, and all of it's going for the kids. So I really appreciate that.
I hope your husband's boss is a fan of that show, How I Met Your Mother. Do you remember that show? Mm-hmm. It was kind of popular about 10 years ago.
Yes.
The only reason I mention this because Neil Patrick Harris is in that show.
Mm.
Remember him?
Yes.
Stevie Hauser? Uh-huh. And he plays like an alpha male in that. I know, kind of weird compared to his real life persona, but he plays like this alpha male in there. But one of his like catchphrases or whatever he says throughout that is legendary. But he goes legendary. So
yes,
so I'm just saying, it's like feel like
he
was a fan, and it's like my business legendary. Sorry,
No, I'm there with you, Mike. I'm there. I'm there.
But anyway, big thank you to Legendary Services for being the title sponsor.
Junior Hernandez, yes.
Very cool. Yeah, because without supporters, these events don't happen, and it's all about the kids. And that's really, we want y'all to come out and enjoy and root these kids on. But everything we're doing is to support those kids that are on the stage Saturday night out here and giving them. Confidence and cheering them on because they're all going to be good. That's the one thing. They're all, these kids are going to be. You're going to be pleasantly surprised at how good some of these 10 and 12-year-olds can sing and belt out a tune.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then when you get to the 17-year-olds, it's even more amazing. So check it out.
It's gonna be difficult to judge. I'm kind of worried about that.
So I'm very curious, because for the Christmas showcase, it's a little different because that's, it's not just singing. There's the whole gamut. So there's a little, but for a singing, is there like when I've judged barbecue, like for the Kansas City Society, and you're thinking, well, that's a very arbitrary thing to judge, but there's rules. Like, look, the way it looks, the tenderness of the meat. There's actual. I've got to imagine for singing, it's like the tone. There's certain things that as a judge you're listening for versus just some schmo in the audience.
Well, you want to. I think it's your tone. It's also the feeling.
Gotcha.
You want, how they are on stage. And representing their, themselves, and they're singing with their heart and actually touching the audience.
How they react, how the audience reacts to it,
to them. Yes.
Like reading the room, basically. Does it vibe the room? And
Mm-hmm. There is one little girl. That girl has personality and charisma for days. I was like, woo! Yes.
No fear on the stage.
No, she was super comfortable up on that stage.
Nice. She got pageant history because usually
I don't know.
Usually they're all charismatic, very, very vocal. Very.
I just was smiling watching her.
Does she look real young and then real smart? Because that kind of scares me a little bit. I'm one of those folks. Like when I see a child that's really small and tiny, but is way smart for their good and like looks like, you know what I mean, looks older but they're younger. You know what I mean? Like they're only like 5, but they're in like a tweed suit or something, and it makes them look like that makes me nervous. Like it's like, I think they're the ones that are going to take over the world and everything.
We've learned Mike's irrational fear.
That's scary. Like I'm not going to lie. The Shriners commercials, you know, with the kids and all that. I know they're warm and fuzzy, but those kids are too charismatic and too smart for their size. And I'm like, I don't trust them. They're going to be diabolical. I know it.
It's their backstory.
They're too smart.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, that's my own neurosis.
It's gonna be okay, Mike. It's gonna be okay.
Don't look at him no more.
Kids are dressed too smart, make me nervous.
Oh my gosh.
You're not supposed to be that articulate at that size. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know.
It's diabolical.
Diabolical, even.
Well, that's what I feel like. They're going to be the next, you know, Dr. Evil or, you know, the big evil genius. Like, that's going to be the one.
Okay, great. And you can get their video on the 360 thing. And
like, they're going to be the next Thanos or whatever. You know what I mean? That's the one right there. They're going to be it.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. All of that brings to come on out Saturday night and have some fun and watch these kids sing.
There you go. Wrap it up with a bow.
Absolutely. It is all joking aside. It's going to be really come out. These kids are impressive. They're amazing young men and women. Come see them. Come hear them perform. And I guarantee you're going to be way blown away by how talented these young men and women are. And even if they do come up to your knees, they're very impressive. They're very good. So come see, even though they're very articulate. And get there early. That way you can participate in the 360 photo booth. Right. I'm assuming you can support the communal theater and buy some snacks and some water and things and help out there. They won't let you take it in the theater, but you can grub all you want out in the lobby there.
Yes. That is correct.
And don't get any chocolate on the 360
and we'll have some goodies out there. And
yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be it's usually a little schmoozing, a little hanging out and everything.
Yes.
Like, it'll be the photo booth.
And we have a big backdrop and stuff for people to take pictures as well as the 360.
Yeah,
so
I told you she is a party planner.
She's got
this
stations
one.
and everything else.
Carpet, everything. So it's gonna be
Everyone gets a kazoo.
Yeah.
No. Okay, Mike, you know I'm a band mom. There was a band trip and we stopped in Klein's Corners and all the children bought kazoos and it was not a fun bus ride.
No.
That's what you should have regulated. You said no kazoos on the bus.
Man. I still twitch when someone says kazoo now.
The kazoo on the bus goes in the trash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But when played well, the kazoo can be a masterful instrument.
But not at the same time by 50 children.
Not all of us were good at band. All we got is the kazoo.
Okay, fair.
When the recorder was too much, then there's the kazoo.
Oh, that's funny.
And if that didn't work, then we got the juice harp or the harmonica. We equally bad on that too.
Well, thankfully these children are singing. And
That's right. No instruments. Now imagine some will sing to probably music tracks and stuff.
Oh,
It's not going to be all a cappella or anything.
No. It's music that they have chosen karaoke style, so they have to sing it and memorize it.
Yeah, there's rules on it.
Yes.
Because it would be kind of unfair if like one of the kids, I got a 4-piece band back of me back there. It's kind of an advantage to have, all of that going on. I brought a 10-piece orchestra back here with me. Right. We're going to knock this sucker out.
A whole concert.
Right.
I brought the Philharmonic.
Right.
They're my backup vocals.
Please give us a moment while we reset the stage for the band.
Yeah. But no, they'll be back into music and tracks.
Yes,
like
yes.
But again, it's this Saturday night, April 26th. What time's everything start?
At 3 o'clock. Doors open at 3.
3 p.m.
From 3 to 5 is the 360 photo booth.
Okay.
And then we'll start at 6.
Okay, so get there early for schmoozing and mingling and photo boothing and snacking and all that good stuff.
Pictures and stuff like that.
Kind of I would even say maybe like a mini indoor, like one of those trunk or treat carnival kind of things going on, kind of things leading up to that. Almost.
I don't even know the whole plan of the before stuff. Don't tell me; it'll be a surprise. Okay.
You're going to judge it, though. That's her job to judge.
I'm judging the singing. I know the party stuff is going to be amazing with this one.
Around, I don't like that color.
No, that would be Dan.
Where is Dan?
And Dan will not be the abominable snowman. For this
No, he will be Dan.
Just regular Dan. Very good. But join us out there, like I said, 3 o'clock when everything gets underway. The contest itself will get underway at 6 at the Roswell Community Theater there in the Plains Park Shopping Center.
1717 South Union.
That's right. Yes. Too bad you can't put the Mockingbird Lane in there or something. Because you ever, like,
that's Munsters? Frightening. We don't want to be frightening.
Well, it was 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I remember, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, it feels like we're in the ballpark, like it's on the same street. Just saying. But anyway, right across from was it Dollar General or Family Dollar? What it is right across?
Yep, right kind of behind that movie theater right there. Yeah.
If you're old school, it used to be the old Park Twin.
That's it.
Back in the day.
That's right.
In the day, so very good. Ladies, do we get it all?
I think so.
And then I was going to say, and then a little bit more.
Probably wanted. We know he's crazy, that he likes weird food. No.
We have a good time. We're going to have villain origin stories with the 360
there
photo.
You go. Tell you, we do it. If you get if you can help, because that might help. Like if you put like just a stereo by with just playing MCU music, dum, 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 that thrilling stuff. That way, they gives them the right facial pose when they're in the 360 camera.
I'm telling you, it's still not going to work for me.
Inspirational music.
There you go. Okay. Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
There's gonna be people trying so many weird things on that 360. I apologize. It's my fault.
No, it's gonna be awesome.
I'm so sorry.
It's awesome.
They're gonna break this thing.
We've already had that experience.
We've had under it. Yes. Hold my beer. I got some things we've done with this.
Oh no.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, it is 7:48. Let's pause for news, weather, and a few commercials. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cerullo. Our top story, the New Mexico Secretary of State's election has had its first official filer. Amanda Lopez, who is currently the Doña Ana County Clerk, has formally filed to run for New Mexico Secretary of State. She announced her campaign for the Democratic nomination in a press release. The Secretary of State's duties typically include overseeing the state's business division, administering lobbying and ethics guidelines, and filing and maintaining a host of state records. Managing elections at the state level is also one of the office's most high-profile responsibilities. ENMU Portales has named Austin Bortle as the new defensive coordinator. Head coach Kelly Lee said Bortle is an outstanding coach with experience as both a head coach and defensive coordinator. Bortle comes to Portales after spending 4 years as head sprint coach at Quincy University in Illinois and Fontbonne University in St. Louis, Missouri. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cerullo.
Forgot to grab salad dressing at the store? Yeah, same here. I was staring down at a sad bowl of greens when I thought, hey, ChatGPT can help. I'm Kim Commando for Oracle. Cut your current cloud bill in half if you move to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. See if your company qualifies at oracle.com/Kim. When you want to make the most of what's already in your pantry or fridge, try this. I told ChatGPT, I need to make salad dressing. Here's what I've got. Garlic powder, oregano, honey, olive oil, red wine vinegar, ginger, salt, and pepper. A second later, it came back with this sweet, tangy vinaigrette using everything I listed. I was shocked by how great it was. You can do the same with whatever you've got laying around. Just give it a list of ingredients, ask ChatGPT what you can make, and let it do the thinking. You'll usually get a few options, and you can adjust the recipe to fit your taste. This works for sauces, marinades, even full meals. And take it with a grain of salt, though. It is AI, after all. Get more tips like this with my free newsletter at getkim.com. There's a growing expense eating into your company's profits. It's your cloud computing bill. You may have gotten a deal to start, but now the spend is sky high and increasing every year. What if you could cut your cloud bill in half and improve performance at the same time? Well, if you act by May 31st, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure can help you do just that. OCI is the next generation cloud designed for every workload. where you can run any application, including any AI projects, faster and more securely for less. In fact, Oracle has a special promotion where you can cut your cloud bill in half when you switch to OCI. The savings are real. On average, OCI costs 50% less for computing, 70% less for storage, and 80% less for networking. Join today's innovative AI tech companies who upgraded to OCI and saved. Offer only for new U.S. customers with a minimum financial commitment. See if you qualify for half off at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment. Hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. We have high pressure parked over the desert southwest, and that'll be keeping things sunny for us. Our afternoon highs in the mid-80s. For the overnight hours, we'll have clear skies and our low in the mid-40s. Looks like mid-80s again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we keep the sunshine. We'll start warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the upper 80s, but it will stay sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We got some scores to catch up on over the weekend, Saturday specifically, and more specifically, Goddard baseball. Goddard took on Lovington, a home doubleheader, and didn't go well to start off with. The visiting Wildcats won the first game Saturday 15-1. Goddard, though, bounces back to beat the Wildcats in the second 13-7. Avril Aguiar, only a sophomore, 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs in that second game. Goddard also beat Lovington in a single game on Thursday, and so they're 2-1 in district. They'll take on Portales at the end of this week. And you got some baseball action going on today. It'll be NMMI playing in Albuquerque against Bosque School at 3 o'clock. Gateway Christian at Dora. That starts at 6 o'clock. And softball today, Dexter hosting Jal at 4. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The new U.S. ambassador to Japan said he is optimistic that the U.S. and Japan will reach a deal in their ongoing tariff negotiations. George Glass is a prominent business person known for his background in finance, investment banking, and technology. The U.S. Interior Department said it would begin taking public input for a new 5-year offshore oil and gas leasing program that could include new zones in the Arctic and elsewhere to maximize energy development. Volvo plans to lay off as many as 800 workers at 3 U.S. facilities over the next 3 months due to market uncertainty and demand concerns in the face of President Trump's tariffs. A federal judge handed the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints a major legal victory, dismissing a lawsuit in which 9 people sought the return of hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations. The suit alleged misuse of funds instead of using it for charitable purposes. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra presents Kinderman Plays Beethoven, Saturday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. William Kinderman returns to Roswell to perform Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 5, Emperor, along with works by Weber, Dvorak, and Richard Strauss. Tickets are on sale now and are available at roswellsymphony.org or by calling 575-623-5882. Kinderman Plays Beethoven, Saturday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Paid in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8.
And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
The Matanza Fest and Cinco de Mayo celebration is the party you don't want to miss. Traditional music, vendors, a car show, dance, and the Matanza. A mouth-watering event and a competition of savory, one-of-a-kind pork creations, real chicharrones, and fresh salsa. Think you have what it takes? Enter your team today at nmmatanza.com. The Matanza Fest and Cinco de Mayo celebration at the fairgrounds in Roswell. Proceeds to support alternative education programs and paid for in part by City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Step back in time at the Lincoln Forest Renaissance Fair, May 16th through 18th at Wingfield Park in Ruidoso. Join us for 3 magical days of pirates, knights, fairies, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss our Saturday night headliners, Celtic rock legends, the Young Dubliners, lighting up the stage on May 17th at 7 p.m. Get tickets and details now at LincolnForestRenFair.com.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Edge Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer. The Eastern New Mexico University System is proud to present One Eastern Day, sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank on Thursday, May 1st from 4 to 9 p.m. on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Come join ENMU for a family fun night featuring food trucks, inflatables, info booths, and live music by Roswell's own Grupo Maldad from 7 to 9 p.m. Bring out the whole family May 1st to ENMU Roswell and join us for One Eastern Day. Visit roswell.enmu.edu for more information. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The sound of church bells echoes across Rome following word of the death of Pope Francis. A Vatican statement reads at 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned to the home of the Father. Correspondent Charles De Ledesma says the 88-year-old pontiff was just recently discharged from the hospital in Rome following a lengthy stay.
Francis suffered from chronic lung disease and had part of one lung removed as a young man. He was admitted to Gemelli Hospital in Rome on February 14 for a respiratory crisis that developed into double pneumonia. He spent 38 days there.
And the White House is extending its condolences.
In a message posted online, President Trump wrote, "Rest in peace, Pope Francis. May God bless him and all who loved him." Vice President Vance met briefly with the Pope on Sunday to exchange Easter greetings. The 88-year-old Francis offered the Catholic Vice President 3 big chocolate Easter eggs for Vance's 3 young children. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told Fox News it's a solemn day for Catholics around the world.
White House correspondent Craig Clugston. No classified information was shared. A snippet of a White House statement regarding another signal chat controversy involving Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, allegedly sharing information about pending strikes on Yemen with his wife and others in a group chat. The White House labels it a non-story. A slow-moving, intensely powerful storm system brought heavy rains, large hail, and tornadoes to parts of Texas and Oklahoma, Illinois, Missouri, and beyond over the weekend. There were numerous high-water rescues, trees down, power outages across a vast area. The fierce weather left at least 3 people dead. The skies are clear and temperatures cool for the 129th Boston Marathon, now underway. On Wall Street, the Dow down 659 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Canadians have been turning out in record numbers for early voting in national elections. Election day north of the border is April 28th. Polls give former central banker Liberal Mark Carney the edge over Conservative Pierre Poilievre.
President Trump's repeated threats to take over Canada have sparked an outpouring of patriotism and defiance, and U.S. tariffs are biting. President Trump has also turned Canadian politics upside down. Mr. Poilievre used to be ahead in the polls by double digits. Now a majority of Canadians seem to think they need an economist and former banker at the helm.
The BBC's Lise Doucette. Iran-backed Houthi rebels say American airstrikes targeting Yemen's capital killed a dozen people and wounded 30 others. It marks the latest in the intensified campaign of strikes targeting the rebels, who have repeatedly targeted commercial shipping in Mideast waters. Townhall.com. There's no relief yet from higher tolls, so-called congestion pricing, imposed on motorists driving into parts of Manhattan.
New York's $9 congestion toll on most drivers entering Manhattan below 60th Street remained in effect Sunday, despite an Easter deadline from the Trump administration to halt the first-in-the-nation fee. The state agency overseeing the tolls, the MTA, confirmed Sunday that its system of traffic cameras continues to collect the fee. The Trump Transportation Department rescinded federal approval for the program in February, calling it a slap in the face of working-class Americans and small business owners. Julie Walker, New York.
Vice President Vance has arrived in India for a 4-day visit as New Delhi looks to avoid U.S. tariffs and negotiate a bilateral trade deal with Washington. Vance meeting with Prime Minister Modi on the first day of his visit. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Post-Easter weekend.
Yes.
Hope all of you had a delightful weekend, and of course, probably
grumbling through your morning here.
Little candy tinged hangovers this morning.
That's right. Grab a Reese's or a Cadbury egg out of your kid's basket for a quick pick-me-up off the door today.
Yep. I got to explore the Pantheon of Peeps yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, just had a couple of... I went over and had Easter lunch with Misty and the family, and they bring out... she had Easter baskets for the kids. And I say kids loosely because all of the kids that were there were in their 20s, some almost 30. But, but they were the ones that got the baskets. And so everybody got a different kind of Peeps.
Nice.
And so we're kind of like, passing them around and trying one. I got to say, of the ones that I've had so far, there are two that vie for the top seed when it comes to Peep.
Yeah?
I mean, there are definitely some misses. Peeps... They miss more often than they
every Peep
hit.
I've had tastes the same to me. So I haven't eaten a lot of Peep.
Well, you got to open your mind, man, because there's a variety of them now.
To be honest, I haven't delved deep in the Peep world.
Because it's not about the Peep. The Peep itself is always just going to taste like a Peep. I think we've now said the word Peep more times than in human history. But the Peep itself is just marshmallow. It's what they put on the outside of it, the flavor, because there's a variety of different flavors. The ones that I'm pretty sure are the top two are Fruit Punch, which is delightful.
I guess I got to eat some because I've really just had like the one Peep, and it's the yellow one, I guess. I don't know. It just tastes like a Peep.
The one I had yesterday, which I've had before, but I was reminded yesterday just how good it actually is.
Yeah.
Sour watermelon. It's legit a decent treat.
I guess I need to eat some Peeps.
Yeah, and today's the day, man, because now it's my favorite holiday, which is half off candy day.
No. You want to pick up some Peeps for me to try? I'm not going Peep shopping.
You're not going to go peeping around? Well, I need to know what my Peep budget is from the company. I got to get the corporate card to go Peep shopping.
I'll give you somebody. We'll go peeping. But it kind of made me a little salty over this Easter candy thing, and maybe I wasn't looking properly.
Okay.
But the one thing I could never find consistently, there's so many dang Reese's things out there. The one thing I wanted was the little 6-pack of the individually wrapped Reese's egg. It's a full Reese's egg in a little 6-pack. It came in remember those? They come in 6 of them, little flat sheet.
It's like a big plastic egg?
No. It's the regular... the Reese's egg.
Okay.
But there are 6 of them individually wrapped. Full-size ones. These aren't mini ones. These aren't a sack of them unwrapped.
Right.
I just want, like when you buy Hershey bars and there's the 6 of them in the pack, they had a version of that for years. I buy everyone every year. I could not find one to save I found eggs in a big sack of mini ones. I've found unwrapped ones, small. But the one that just a little 6-pack of them that I'd like to put in the fridge, and every once in a while grab one and eat it. Could not grab those.
Dang.
Could not find them this year. Made me salty.
Huh.
I
don't remember them being sold I'm sure they were, but I just don't recall that.
I used to grab them every year, and usually Walmart have. But I was all up and down Walmart several occasions. I've seen all kinds of Reese's peanut butter things, but not the egg in the 6-pack of just 6 individually wrapped eggs that you could pull out, put in your basket, or whatever. I used to I'd grab one every year, and I'd slide in the fridge, and every once in a while, ooh.
That's a doggone shame.
And don't get me, people are like, why don't you just get cups? The cups taste different than the egg.
Well, I mean,
to me.
Yeah, and I'll give you that. But you could find the Reese's egg itself, right? Like those were out there.
Yeah.
Why not just buy 6 of those?
Well, I didn't. I just wanted this convenient 6-pack to throw in the thing. I didn't want to buy much individual
but sometimes when we can't have convenience and the option is still there, you go with option B.
Why are you trying to change stuff that ain't broke? That's all I'm saying. Quit changing everything.
It seems like Reese's really does have a corner on the holiday chocolate market.
Oh, gosh,
because every single time I'm doing one of those surveys around Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, what is the number one candy of that particular holiday? It's always the Reese's whatever shaped
They're in the
thing.
mix every time.
Yeah, they're usually the top spot. Almost always.
I would argue maybe Hershey's will slip in some tires,
on occasion, but
like Easter, I would say Cadbury is equally have a footholding as Reese's.
Well, and you say that, but I just recently did a survey, or I read a survey, And Reese's took the top spot. Now Hershey's took number 2.
Well, here's the thing. I think Cadbury's putting stuff in there you don't realize it's Cadbury. Like all them little eggs and little Easter jobbers. That's how Cadbury stuff.
Well, like the dairy milk line is, and Cadbury chocolate tastes completely different. Like that's the thing. If you've ever had, it's a European chocolate. If you ever had like Maltesers, which you used to be able to find them at like Allsup's and stuff. I can't find them anymore. But they're straight up
now
like,
to me
European.
To me, not the Cadbury cream eggs. There is an Easter Cadbury candy that is a staple for Easter. It's just a little chocolate egg, and it's covered in like the M&M candied shell, but it's a little thicker, and it's a Cadbury egg.
Yeah, the Cadbury.
But
Cadbury,
it's milk chocolate. It's
Cadbury
not Cadbury
mini
chocolate. It's regular chocolate.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't taste like Cadbury chocolate. It just tastes like.
And it's from Cadbury? Well, then it's not. It's their chocolate.
But it tastes like milk chocolate.
It might be the shell that makes it taste. Because if you sit and compare like side by side a dairy milk bar versus like a Hershey's like full milk chocolate bar, it's a vast difference.
Yeah.
The European chocolate generally is creamier.
It is. Oh, I agree. But those eggs taste like regular milk chocolate.
And that's crazy. That's You know what is personally...
There's a guy that'll sit and eat a whole bag of them if you let me. I know.
What is personally my the unsung hero of the Easter basket, Robin eggs.
Yeah, those are good.
Like that's one of the only times I really like Whoppers is when they're candy coated and shaped like an egg. For some reason, that's I'm okay with eating a multi.
I like Whoppers. Whoppers are higher on the scale than Milk Duds for me.
Oh, for sure, because you can eat Whoppers.
Yeah.
If you have any dental work, if you have ever had a filling, I don't mean like currently, like when you were a kid and had a filling and they took it out or whatever, it'll pull that filling out if you eat a Milk Dud.
Yeah.
So Milk Duds are inedible. Same thing, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face, and if you say this is your favorite candy, you're a liar or you're lying to yourself. Sugar daddies and sugar babies are sugar garbage.
Can you still get those?
Oh, absolutely.
I thought they went the way of the dodo.
No.
You could get
and
those
you
anymore.
being a shorter man, you should know this. Look down next time you go through the candy aisle. The most amazing things happen at the bottom of that candy aisle. Of course, they put the Reese's at eye level.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how if you ever walk down the breakfast cereal aisle, and I'm going to tell you this, and you're never going to not be able to see it because somebody told me, and I can't not see it. All of the mascots on the cereal boxes, their eyes go down. It's so that they can so they're making eye contact with your kids. Yep. So there's a fun fact.
Speaking of cereal, and then we got to start our hour.
Yep.
I procured a cereal over the weekend I have not had yet.
Okay.
I'm anxious to try. It's Oreos.
Okay.
The Oreos, it looks like Oreo dark Cocoa Puff. It's puffs like Cocoa Puffs, but it's Oreo colored.
Huh.
And then it's got marshmallow puffs, like white for the cream.
Okay.
I bought a box. I saw it sitting on the shelf, and
I've seen...
Oh, my gosh, look at this. And it looked like Cocoa Puffs with marshmallows to me. And I said, maybe a Count Chocula thing. So I bought a box. I haven't opened it or consumed any yet, but I did procure them over the weekend.
Oreo has this way of consistently making products that just taste... I mean... And God love them. I love an Oreo, but it's just there's not enough variation in their game.
Right.
I mean, sure they've got mint, but their game isn't let's try different flavors. Their thing is let's just try our flavor on every food known to man, up to and including soda.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very odd. It's like almost like the anti, other companies that put out like 17, 18 flavor variations. Their whole thing is we want your product to taste like us.
Right. Well, I would, I don't usually mark on all those.
Mm-hmm.
But Oreo cereal, that when I just went by and saw it, I said that looks, because I think this is going to be like Count Chocula meets Cocoa Puffs.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm
and
down.
If the puffs are like Oreo, I'm guessing like the black with the little white specks.
Yeah. Well, it's black, but then they got like marshmallows.
So the marshmallows are the cream. Okay.
I'm taking a stab. I'm assuming they're marshmallows, but I could be wrong.
Well, let us know.
I'm about to. I'm all excited. I almost had some yesterday, but I didn't.
No.
Let me give you the rundown. We do have a full hour here. We're going to bring in first. Don Weld's going to join us first. I believe he's wearing his Alzheimer's Association hat here today. And then shortly thereafter, we're going to talk with Lauren Dickinson from the Roswell Refuge. This Friday night is their annual That 70s Dance happening at the Eagles facility there this Friday night. So we'll talk with Lauren about that, too. Before we do any of that, though, let's get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. We have high pressure parked over the desert southwest, and that'll be keeping things sunny for us. Our afternoon highs in the mid-80s. For the overnight hours, we'll have clear skies and our low in the mid-40s. Looks like mid-80s again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we keep the sunshine. We'll start warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the upper 80s, but it will stay sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 31% with winds out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. A nice week for the most part. If you like 80s, mid to upper 80s, that's pretty much what we got this week. Sunny and 83 today with winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight, overnight low of 50. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny on Tuesday, 87 tomorrow, so warming up. Near 90, not quite. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, we're looking at sunny skies, 88 for a high there. South winds 5 to 15. Thursday, sunny, 88 once again for a high there. Friday, sunny and down in the low 80s, 81. And then as of right now, they're talking decent rain chances for Friday night and the weekend. Of course, it is Monday. You know how that works. It'll start out like 50% now. By Thursday, it'll be down to like 20%. But right now, they're saying we have a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms Friday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 56. A 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 77. 30% Saturday night, partly cloudy and 54. And a 20% on Sunday, sunny and 85 otherwise. Now, this is Monday. I'm going to take a stab. Tomorrow it'll be less, and then by Friday it'll be hardly nothing. But right now, they say we got good rain chances. All right, 18 minutes after 8, we're going to take about a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk with Don Weld and talk Alzheimer's Association. Don't go away.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort. This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender love and care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Our lives run on energy every day. And every day, your friends and neighbors at New Mexico Gas Company safely deliver reliable, affordable, essential energy to New Mexicans. The kind of energy that brings families together, that surrounds us in comfort, the energy that warms homes and hearts. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and every day we deliver the energy that's behind some of the warmest moments in your life. That's why we're here.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting them in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:21, and joining us in studio this morning, today wearing his Alzheimer's Association hat, Don Weld back with us, technically shirt. But good morning. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing great, Mark. How you doing?
Doing good. Of course, most people, when we think Alzheimer's Association, obviously the big event that happens here every year, it'll be in the fall, is the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And, of course, we're going to be gearing up for another big one here in this year.
Yep.
But I know October, that time frame, November seems a little far in the distance right now. However, now is the time to start putting teams together, start
That's right.
getting raising the money and all that.
Get out there and get the money going.
Yeah.
And we do have a little bit of a change. I think last time I said we were going to meet over here on Main Street.
Yes.
However, that has changed.
Okay.
It's still November 1st.
Okay.
That's Saturday. But it's going to be out at Cielo Grande.
Cielo Grande there, okay.
The Decay.
Rusty K Soccer Complex.
There you go. That's the name.
You know, the Walk for Hope event, which is the Chaves County Cancer Fund's annual event, that seems like the tradition spot, because they have the little track out there, which is kind of probably works nicely
and
for you
that's
guys.
why we went.
Yeah. And so, they did the overnight thing where they'd start in the evening and then they'd walk. Usually it was a Friday night, and then they'd walk overnight into Saturday, and then it's Saturday morning kind of thing. But they always did it out probably on the exact same track and everything that you guys are going to be doing it on. So it's great that y'all are bringing that out there for that. That's kind of, when I think of that, I kind of reminds me of the what they do over there for the Chaves County Cancer.
I guess that's what the decision was, is that
it's a good spot.
We have a much better.
Well, safety-wise, I mean, there's obviously not traffic or anything to worry about out there. And
much less traffic anyway, except for the soccer people.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's right. We can share.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on over and walk around when you're done.
There you go. Yeah. or come walk and then go play your game.
Right.
Warm up.
So everything will be out there at Cielo Grande this year.
Correct.
So, including like the Survivor's Garden, all the stuff that's kind of part of the tradition that is the walk.
All the flower garden, everything.
Yeah.
We'll have the whole thing all set up. We did it there. Oh, what was it? 3-4 years ago? Maybe more than that. God, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
This is Alzheimer's, isn't it? Yeah.
When you got a lot of hats, you tend to forget which one you're wearing. Sometimes.
But it has been a while. But we've been out there before, and it was really very good.
It's a good location. Yes, it is. The only drawback is because you don't get the public visual like you do out on the courthouse lawn.
We just
not as much traffic going around Cielo Grande area.
No, that's right. We'll just have to talk it up more and tell people, come on out.
But it'll be that November 1st, right after the Halloween there, so you can come and it's really, that's the fun day, the celebration day, the day. I mean, it runs the gamut because we honor those that we've lost to Alzheimer's. We support and cheer on those that are fighting and the families that are dealing. I mean, all of that's going on, but it's kind of the party day, whereas the real work is leading up to raising the money. As you put your teams together, we're trying to get, if you can get each like $500 each team to raise up, that's something like that.
That's what we're looking for.
Of course, we'd love to, more the merrier, but, we'd like to at least get you that if you can get that per team. And the cool thing is, we've got all kinds of support vehicles online and things to the Alzheimer's Association. So once you get your team together and need help spreading the word, getting donations, whether it's online or, in your neighborhoods, they can help you do all that kind of stuff too. So.
Just come, give us a call or whatever. There is a hotline for Alzheimer's, 24-hour hotline.
Oh, is there? Okay.
That 800 number.
Okay.
It's out there in the other room.
Okay. Get it to me and I'll give it for you.
You got cards out there. Yeah.
Oh, very good. We'll get it to you. But
so you can call that one. And you always can go on to alz.org.
Okay.
And get information. That will have phone numbers on there too.
Okay.
So if you need help, just.
And that's the other thing too is, we talk about the Alzheimer's Association here and yes, part of it's raising money so we can someday, have our first
White flower,
which is our first winner, basically, who is on the remission or curing of Alzheimer's.
Has made it through. They had Alzheimer's and we got them cured.
We're reversing the signs. We're curing them as opposed to.
That's what we want to do.
And so we're very close. I mean, if you look in the terms of research and things, I mean, yes, there's still a lot we don't know about dementia and Alzheimer's, but compared to 20, 30 years ago, there is put it this way. If you were diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, one of these life-ending diseases, 20 years ago, your quality of length of life after diagnosis was very minimal. Now,
Correct.
folks are living years with quality life.
Yes.
Before they're starting to see the dementia signs.
Serious.
The serious stuff.
Right.
And that's all through these walks and through medicine and research.
Right.
And they are very close to whether we have it comes in a vaccine form, or it's preventative, or once you have it, reversing. I mean, they're very close to that kind of stuff right now.
We're working on it.
Yeah. So I'm serious. A couple more of these walks might be the money to push us over to get that research finally done, and we can actually say, you know what? We can start treating and reversing permanently the signs that are Alzheimer's and dementia.
And even then, we're still going to need more funds to keep that going.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
once you hit that
people.
line, you gotta. It's like the Wright brothers. Okay, we proved we got a plane. Now what?
Now what do we do? Now we build TWA and some of those things. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where we're at. So please, this is by you putting these teams together and walking around Cielo Grande on November 1st and supporting this way. Trust me, you're putting one more wheel in the cog to start saving more lives here.
That's right.
So hopefully the next generation of dementia and Alzheimer's patients are the ones that are getting cured.
That's right.
That's what
or prevented.
Or prevented altogether.
We may reach that. Well, that's what the real goal is, to prevent it.
And
completely.
this is a tricky one because, unlike other diseases, you can kind of say, okay, there's family history is definitely a factor, or diet or whatever, lifestyle. There's always triggers on what, but Alzheimer's, there is no consistency on any of that.
Nothing really definite.
It could be family history, it could be lifestyle, it could be a cocktail of both. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for there isn't a recipe for Alzheimer's. It can happen anyway, or it's like smoking. You smoke enough, you're eventually going to get cancer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something like this. Alzheimer's doesn't have that. It could be all family stuff. It could be nothing to do with it. It could be, maybe you're exposed to a bunch of stuff in the environment that causes. I mean,
who knows?
It's a crapshoot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much so. And in my wife's case, that was very much the case. There were some things and incidences in her life that could have contributed.
But there's no proof definitively one way or another.
Of it. And also she was the first one in her family, and she wasn't the oldest, but she was the first one in her family to be diagnosed with an Alzheimer's.
Interesting. So I mean, that's what we're dealing with. There's
right.
no,
we
and so
know.
that so without a path to follow, it makes it hard to find the cure. And
Yes,
so
it
that's
does.
why this one's been trickier than others. And
That's
things.
right.
So these walks do help. They do. This is how the research has been. The progress that has been made. It's because of these walks and the money raised to fund research for all
Right.
this. So that's what we're continuing to do.
The Alzheimer's, like so many diseases, I believe that we've had Alzheimer's around, like cancer, like heart disease, and stuff, for generations, years and years.
Just
way
didn't
back.
diagnose it or understand what it was.
We just didn't know it.
Yeah.
We just didn't know what it was.
Back in the day, they probably.
Well, they shut them up,
or they called it was some kind of other thing or something. It's kind of like TB. They know how to deal with it, so they just ship you to driver climates and let you die. Now it's a whole different medicine for them.
That's right. But now, and that's very, very, very true. It's a completely different type of disease.
Yeah.
And we're going to get there. We're going to find it.
Now, and that being said, that's where I started to go, and then I got down another path, is yes, the Alzheimer's Association, yes, they're on the fundraising side, but also support side. If you're a family and you're dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, whether it's you yourself or the family. I mean, this is one of those conditions that if a family member has it, it impacts the entire. It's more of a disease for the family than it is sometimes the individual here. So if you are in that situation, the Alzheimer's Association here in Chaves County, that's what they're there for, to help you with resources, support. So if you're maybe just recently diagnosed with this in your family and you're trying to figure out what to do next, let's reach out to the ALZ.org and see if we can help set you up.
Go online because there's all kinds of areas there that we can help you out.
Absolutely. Especially when you start getting towards the end of life stuff where, you're going to need additional helps and cares and things like that where the treatment is or the taking care of this individual is going to be above the scope of your own abilities.
Very much so. You get to that. You can do a lot early on, but you do get to that point to where it's beyond what any average or normal person.
Absolutely.
We've even had nurses well trained in geriatrics who get to that point to where they're not qualified. They're not able to help with that relationship.
This is the brutality that is Alzheimer's. Yes. It literally changes a person's entire personal structure, personality, and everything else.
And it can be harder on the caregiver than it ever is on the patient.
Especially if it's more of one of these types where they have violent fits and things like that.
Yes.
That's
or sundowners. They will sneak out.
Oh, so they're trying to escape. They think that someone's
they
out
don't
to get
know
them.
what's going on.
Gotcha. But in their head, they think someone's out to get them or someone's got them captive or like they're in that kind of situation.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I don't know. My wife was a sundowner.
Okay.
And at sundown, when the sun starts going down, they want to go out and walk and adventure. They want to go places. Now, what the reasoning behind that was, what's going on in the brain, I have no idea.
Wonder if that's like some kind of internal clock thing that's screwed up. Kind of like people that live in like Alaska or places where it's daylight for a long time and dark for a long time, or blind people. Sometimes they have problems delineating night and day and some of that kind of thing. And maybe there's something in the Alzheimer's that's messing with that part of their brain that's doing that. I don't know, but that's what like just me taking the pieces of evidence and putting it together. That's what it reminds me of, something like that.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we're talking about here. So if you need support, reach out. Go, call here locally, come by. Certainly, and of course, reach out. And then, of course, if you want to get involved with the actual Walk to End Alzheimer's, please reach out. Start forming your teams. If you don't, if you're just an individual looking for teams, I'm sure you can reach out to. There's probably some other individuals looking for teams, and you all can pair up and work together. And
there you go.
Or like I said, if it's your business or organization wants to put a team together and make a little competition out of it, that'd be great too.
That would be best.
It's all in fun, and the more money we raise, the more money we can devote to research and hopefully end this bad boy altogether.
Yep. Yeah, and we really want more teams out there. Financially, this year, what we had set for goals, our sponsorships are doing pretty good.
Good.
We'd like to have more sponsors, of course, but I mean, we've reached a point now where sponsorships are not as important as teams.
Gotcha.
We want more teams out there.
Well, we want to see people walk in. We want to see people participate in doing that.
And that spreads the word.
Yeah, so ALZ.org. And then I think there's like a thing where you can find the Roswell.
Yes, you go to ALZ.org and you'll ask there's a search area there, Roswell Walk. And then once you get to Roswell Walk, it'll tell you more about our walk.
And then
the
you can
dates
sign
and
up
where,
and all that.
You can sign up there and all that kind of stuff.
So ALZ.org and then type in Roswell Walk in the search bar and it'll take you right.
And my particular website, once you get to Roswell Walk, again, you can do a search for photo finish. And that's where my page is.
Very good. And you can donate to his team here.
Well, you can donate or join.
There you go.
I'm always open to more team
We'll
members.
take more the merrier, right?
That's right.
Come as you are. Good deal.
Come and say hi.
But ALZ.org is where all that starts.
That's the big thing.
And on Facebook, there is an Alzheimer's Association, Chaves County, I think, something like that. And there you can just, Roswell, type that in the search, and you can like and follow. that's a great way to stay abreast on information here locally, or if you want to get in touch with someone, all the contacts are there for that too.
Yeah, that'll do everything you need to know.
Very good. Did we get it all done?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. And we'll see you here later this week with a different hat.
That's right. I got something else this week.
Yeah, I think you got your zoo hat on later this week.
Yeah.
Right? And there, thank you, sir. Very
That's an
good.
updated one.
Oh, perfect. Good. That'll update to my other ones here.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Don, and don't work too hard, and we'll see you here in a few days.
I never work too hard because I've already worked too hard.
I'm about to say, he ain't working hard. He don't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. It is 8:36. We're going to pause for news. And then here on the other side, Lauren Dickinson is going to join us from the Roswell Refuge talking about that 70s dance, which is this Friday night out at the Eagles Lodge there. So we'll talk about that. Sunset. And on Sunset there. So we'll talk with Lauren here on the other side. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Our top story, the New Mexico Secretary of State's election has had its first official filer. Amanda Lopez, who is currently the Doña Ana County Clerk, has formally filed to run for New Mexico Secretary of State. She announced her campaign for the Democratic nomination in a press release. The Secretary of State's duties typically include overseeing the state's business division, administering lobbying and ethics guidelines, and filing and maintaining a host of state records. Managing elections at the state level is also one of the office's most high-profile responsibilities. ENMU Portales has named Austin Bortle as the new defensive coordinator. Head coach Kelly Lee said Bortle is an outstanding coach with experience as both a head coach and defensive coordinator. Bortle comes to Portales after spending 4 years as head sprint coach at Quincy University in Illinois and Fontbonne University in St. Louis, Missouri. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 38 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning is back from the Roswell Refuge,
Yes,
Lauren
good
Dickinson
morning.
back with us. Good morning.
How are you?
Doing good. How about
Good.
yourself?
I'm good.
How
Bright-eyed
was-
and bushy tailed.
Right,
this
about
morning.
it's a spring bright-eyed bush.
Yes.
My mom
Oh my
always used to say
goodness.
that, and I always wondered. I was like,
My kids, not so much.
Yeah.
I was trying to find our flyer this morning.
I got
for
one.
our
You need it.
dance.
But yes,
I was
believe it or
rushing.
not, this Friday night is the annual That 70s
It is.
Dance. This is an annual tradition that the Refuge and the same program has put together
Yeah.
for at least, half dozen years or so now?
7 years.
7
This
years.
is
7.
our
I was pretty
seventh
close
one.
to the 7th
Yeah.
one. But it is come in your best 70s duds, so bust out your bell bottoms and your platform shoes
Yeah,
and your
let's get down tonight.
big collared shirts and all that, medallions.
Yes.
You know, bell bottoms, obviously. You know what? I feel like the 70s, like in the terms of men's versus women's fashion, like women always have lots of options.
Yeah.
I feel
men
like
in
the 70s,
Oh, no.
the 70s is kind of our Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Like from the leisure suit to just bell bottoms. I mean, none of it
Yeah.
comfortable or
To the shorts.
so much
with the tuck-in
polyester.
shirt. and- no. Poor
But
guys.
I feel like we had way more options
Yeah.
as fellas in the 70s.
I think so too. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I think you guys got.
I was there for part of it, but I was a kid.
You
I
guys
was-
got a hard.
But like
rap.
for women, I mean, it's kind of like women weren't like that was the era
But
where
that's
women.
like babies too. It's
Yeah,
like
but I feel like that
little
was
baby
kinda like-
boys. That's hard.
women's rights movements. I think women.
Yeah, and we just came out of the '60s,
So they were more
bouffant
wearing
hair
jeans and like there
yes.
wasn't a lot of dresses and things in the
No.
70s. So women's fashion in the 70s, I think, is lacking a little bit.
Well, it really
looks like more
changed.
men's fashion.
Yeah, like '50s. Okay, we had
The poodle skirts
the
and- yeah.
the dresses,
Yeah.
and the house was put together, and mom was home making sure meals are ready, and then the '60s.
Yeah.
Peace, love, and
Oh, yeah.
happiness, dude.
But there's like certain flower dresses and things that were
Yes.
synonymous
And then it's
with
like
that.
you got to the 70s
Mhm.
and it was like, wham, bam,
Yeah.
let me bring you those yellows and those oranges
Yeah.
and those greens.
But I think they went to jeans and pants and
They
the
did.
dresses and skirts went away
Yes.
during that period.
Yeah.
Or, I
denim.
mean, sure, they wore them, but for the most part, it wasn't fashionable.
Well,
It was-
because women, they really
was
weren't
more-
supposed to
it was
wear
more independent.
suits or
Yeah, they were burning bras
pants.
and things back then.
Right.
And so we're
That's
wearing
right.
our pants and doing
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So So sorry, ladies, you can't. The duds of choice are pretty much like what the dudes have for the 70s, but you can find a good. That's the thing about bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Every couple of years, bell bottoms come back.
They do. Oh my goodness.
It's like I thought they were done in the 70s, but it seems like every 5 or 6 years, you can bust out some bell bottoms.
I was a 90s kid, so the ultra flare jeans.
Oh, they got ridiculous there in the 90s. Like they had walking issues because they were so flared out.
Yeah, my jeans had holes at the bottom, all ratted, and you have to cut them in class. And
but you're safe with tie dye in the 70s. I mean, that was kind of starting the 60s, but
your
you can
rock
carry,
and roll T-shirt from the 60s, you'll be fine.
What I love, I think the official dude T-shirt of the 70s is that it's usually like a green, red, or blue and white, almost tie dye but not quite tie dye mix.
Yeah.
And then the brims of the sleeves of the shirt and maybe the collars if it had one, or not the collar but the brim around the neck was a dark blue or red or whatever the color was, and it always had a certain cut and a certain V-neck look to it. And then sometimes they put like a baseball logo or something like a rainbow Colorado Rocky Mountain thing or something very like to me that's the vintage 70s T-shirt right there.
Yeah.
So if you got some of those,
or the sports stripes, on the quarter sleeves.
Yeah. Now of course you can go if you want to go fancy and go polyester suit or leisure suit. That always is a hit. But
absolutely.
Or any
rock the afro.
Yeah, and any butterfly collared shirt, anything with a ginormously large collar
Get your
is very
chains
big.
out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, medallions, chains.
Yeah.
You go. But anyway, that 70s dances, we want to get everyone their 70s duds.
Yes.
Come on out. You're going to dance and eat. There'll be silent auctions. And the big thing is we want to raise as much money for not only the Roswell Refuge, but for the SANE program.
Yes.
And they are the ones that deal with families and people that are victims of sexual assault.
Yes.
They really do the tough work of when a victim of sexual assault is come before them. They first treat them medically, making sure that they are physically and medically safe, secure, and all of that.
Yeah.
If the victim wishes to press charges, they also are the ones that collect evidence and everything for prosecution. They do this in a very loving, calming, because this victim's just been dealing, and so they're really. And the thing I want to stress is the victim is the driver in the driver's seat here. They're the ones who call the shots.
Yeah.
If they're not comfortable, then nothing happens. But if they choose to make this to pursue, to do all this, the SANE program are the ones that help them through that whole thing.
Yes, Kim
and
Hansen.
So
is
by
wonderful.
you wearing the bell bottoms and eating the food and dancing,
come
you're
support us.
helping all of that.
You are.
And
having fun while you do it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a lot of fun. And of course, the Eagles once again are going to host the event there at the Eagles on Sunset there.
Yes.
And it'll be this Friday night. Now, 6 to midnight. Can they register still, or how does that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tickets are still available. We'll have tickets at the door.
Okay.
You can purchase ahead of time at brownpapertickets.com.
Okay.
The QR code is on our flyer.
Excellent.
Or the link is posted on our Facebook page.
Okay. Can they come by the refuge office?
Absolutely.
And pick them up too? Not the home.
No, just
but
come
the
by
refuge
the office.
there. It's on the corner.
1215 North Garden.
Yeah, the Garden and is that Atkinson? College. That's what it is. It's right on the corner there. Thrift store's right there too. So while you're do a little shopping and save some money or donate.
Yeah, and it all comes back to the.
Talk to Kay about donating first, though.
Yes. We do have a
very limited.
We do need sunscreen right now and hygiene products, of course, for shelter.
And that's the one thing if you'd like to.
But the summer heat, man, it's already coming.
And I'm going to take a stab that you could probably use fans and things like that.
Of course.
In the refuge home.
Yes. We have a lot of stuff
one thing
going
that's
on.
a constant is bedding, toiletries, and personal hygiene things like soaps and shampoos and
yeah, they take those with them.
Yeah, and so if you have the ability donating those things, you don't realize how needed and how much progress is made by the fact that just average people come in with a bunch of towels or come in with a bunch of washcloths or
socks.
So if you'd like to do this, please reach out through the office. That's where because of privacy and protections and everything else, they don't let people go out to the home. But you can drop this stuff at the office or call ahead and make arrangements. One thing I do ask, though, if you do want to donate health and beauty things, buy the family size stuff, like the big shampoo bottles, the big, not the travel size, If that's what you got, donate it. We'll find a use for it.
Yeah,
But
the value size is great.
But
So are
if
the
you're
little
going
minis.
out to buy stuff specifically,
Yeah.
go buy the family size shampoo and conditioner bottles, the soaps. Buy both soaps. Buy the big liquid soap or whatever you want to call it, the body wash.
Sam's even has, some big bottles.
Or get the 12-pack bars. All of them are good. Some
Yeah.
people prefer bars.
And we're so
some people-
thankful for all of it, all the donations.
all of that good. Bedding. Particularly, like most of the beds there, what are they, full size or
I
queen?
think we have an array. I think we have one king,
Okay.
a few queens, some twins.
So all the above on bedding.
Yeah.
Twin, full, queen,
Yes.
king, all could be used there. Towels and things, because again, like you said, they take this with them.
Yes.
When they, because the idea is not for them to be in the home forever.
No.
Be there a month or two, and then they move on to their own life again.
Yes.
So when that happens, a lot of times they, especially if they're starting fresh,
They
and
don't
gonna
have
be in the
anything.
and
Yeah.
so they get to do.
They've gathered a few things along the way.
like it's really cool. Like when you donate those items to the thrift store, when someone's ready to graduate, so to speak, they get to go through that and do a shopping spree and say, "What do you need? A microwave? Do you need a coffee
we start
pot? Do
making
you
a
need
list
some
with them.
dishes? Do you need some utensils? Do you need some clothing? What do you need?"
Yeah.
And so they get to go through there, and the cool part is, you guys partner with other thrift stores in town, and so you'll
We
send
do.
folks over there, and vice
Yeah.
versa. They'll send folks over here. So so by you donating this stuff, it really does make a difference. Please call
It
Kay
does.
first, because there's very limited. Like, I get it, you
Yeah,
got a
we're
big
just making
furniture stuff,
so
but
many
like there was a couple years ago, I
clothes.
donated some bedding and some tables and things, and I had to
Yeah.
work with Kay because they couldn't fit it all at once,
Yeah.
but we had to do it in waves. But
Yeah.
they're very appreciative of it, and if you can do
We
that,
are.
that'd be great. And all that, and then of course, what the residents themselves don't pick, you get to go buy at a deeply discounted price.
Yes.
So please donate through that, and then of course come out Friday night
Yes,
and
it'll be
ask any of the
fun.
folks there and say, "Hey, tell me about this
Yeah.
thrift store stuff."
It's been fun.
Or if you want to get more involved volunteering, because of the nature of the work there's certain things you just can't roll up in that place and do stuff.
Not so
but
much.
time to time, people like to go to the home and redecorate a room,
Yes,
or
they are doing so many updates and renovations.
and so if you'd like to be a part of that, reach out.
Please reach
we
out.
go through proper channels. But if you say
Yeah.
maybe you're an organization, or maybe just a group of people that at some point the rest of your family said, "Stop renovating rooms in our house. You can only paint this wall so many times."
Right.
And I get some people have we'll call it an addiction to doing this kind of
I get
thing.
it. I do.
And so let's turn you loose at a place that love that service all the time.
Updates. We love it.
So if your family's tired of you changing out everything every time,
Yes.
maybe we can put you to work at the refuge
We
here.
could. But our event should be fun.
Should
we
be a
have
lot
a lot
of
of
fun.
great sponsors.
Yeah, you want to mention a couple of
I
those?
do.
You want to-
Pioneer Bank, Erica Guerrero's office, the Fabian Romero. He's going to be doing our music.
Oh, good.
We are going to have an awesome dinner. Like I said earlier, the costume contest. Coming out dressed in your best.
Yeah, come get your
Cash bar.
70s done. Get your big, a lot of high hair in the 70s. So.
Yeah, Roswell Seed. I'm picking up a check from them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we've had some really nice sponsors. The
What's
hospital.
on the menu for Friday night?
I wish I remembered.
It's usually
don't
good. It's
remember.
always good. Don't
Now, I believe it's chicken, and I think he's doing
like a brisket or something maybe. Usually does beef or
something in
chicken.
there. Yeah.
Now, is all the music 70s that night, or will
no,
he venture
I think
off?
he's
Okay.
going to do an array.
I mean, yes,
Of
we're
course.
gonna
Fabian's
have
great.
some 70s. Got to.
Yes.
Got to. Everyone's
Yes.
gonna do some disco
Yeah.
fever and some
But
other.
I think he does a good array.
But yes, you will hit songs that are from your generation too. Just want to put that out there. I don't want to listen to 70s
All of
music all
them.
night. First off, shame on you. There ain't nothing wrong
Right?
with 70s music all night. We get because you can
And
go
Carrie
disco.
Moore did
you
our
could go
flyers,
funk,
so
you
she's
can go-
wonderful.
Carrie Moore's the official flyer person
She's
of Roswell.
awesome.
She does so many. She does them for
Yeah.
American Legion and everything else.
Yeah.
And of course, big thank you to the Eagles for once again
Yes, the Eagles,
hosting.
thank you.
The Roswell Refuge that 70s jam. It's a lot of fun. Come. You got a week to put your 70s get up together
Yeah.
and do all that, and come on out. It starts at 6 p.m. It goes till midnight. If I get it, you don't get off work till 6:30. Come on out at 8, whatever it is. Come and cut a
come hang out
rug
for a
and
little
have
bit.
fun. Come eat. Come dance. Bid on the silent auctions 50-50 raffle.
Yeah, we're gonna have some great
There will be a
items.
cash bar, so you can drink responsibly, of course.
Yes.
And have fun at this event.
Yes.
So. And like I said, come in the 70s duds. Come.
Yes.
And if you have questions, ask your parents.
Please call.
Or ask your grandparents.
Yeah.
They can tell you.
Google.
And if you I'm just gonna. Here's a move. I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm gonna put the Roswell Communal Theater on Spotlight here a little bit.
That's a good one.
Like, if you're having trouble locating 70s nuds and you have friends or compadres, or maybe want to make a donation to the Communal Theater, they have a whole.
Smart.
They have so much costumings and things back there.
Wow.
I'm sure they could put together a 70s outfit and a many
I
of
bet
that
they
stuff.
could too.
And you give them a donation or something. I'm sure
Yeah.
they let you borrow it for the night to go.
I'm
do
gonna have to
something
call
like
them after this. That's a great idea.
I feel like they got so much 70s
I bet they
stuff.
do.
I bet they do back
do.
there. Or stuff that can make it work.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's
a great
Just a
idea.
thought.
I love that idea.
Because I get it. Sometimes, you don't have. And to be honest, like, if you want to buy legit 70s clothing online, it's not cheap.
It's not.
Like, if you want to get a legit pair of
Yeah,
bell-bottom jeans, you're
it's
dropping
expensive.
coin. It's like
You
you
are.
can get costume versions on Amazon, but it's
not the same.
Yeah, but if you want legit 70s clothes,
And then
like,
it lasts forever.
oh yeah, there's a reason why it's been
already
around for 30, 40 years.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's like I was shocked. I went one day just looking, and I was like you
Yeah.
could pay hundreds of dollars for a
Yes,
leisure
the
suit. I was like,
boots,
wow,
yes, it's
$80
wild.
for a pair of jeans. I'm like, they were like $15 brand new.
The age has made them a rarity.
Yeah, they are not. But or if you just maybe you're some of the folks that you're just bad at cleaning out closets. And you're like, I got my 70s suit
Right?
from there.
It's back there.
Yeah, it's back there. Or especially if you had grandparents that were married
Mhm.
in the 70s, like my
Oh, yeah.
like my parents. They were married in the late 70s.
Mhm.
So. I would imagine my mom would have the wedding dress somewhere. I was like, that's from the 70s.
Yeah.
Nobody fits in that stuff. My dad, like if my dad had his tuxedo.
Yeah.
There was no way he could have fit in that. It's like me. I couldn't fit in my Air Force stuff now if I tried to. But
Aw.
that's the problem is if you do have vintage from that,
Right.
unless you're really good at dieting, you probably won't fit in it.
Maybe one day.
It's like, matter of fact, I just watched Father of the Bride over the
Mhm.
weekend.
Always good.
Always good. But there's that
Heartfelt.
scene where he finds his tux in the attic from when he got married.
Yeah.
And it had the ruffles. And of course, he split it when he put it on.
Yeah.
But see, if that might
He
be
tried.
your situation. So that's it.
Poor guy.
But anyway, this Friday night, April 25th, 6 to midnight at the Eagles, 3201 South Sunset. Tickets are $40
They are.
per person. And like you said, you can get tickets brown.
I think we still have some brownpapertickets.com and we
Yes.
still have some table sponsorships.
Okay, so
too.
if you want to get a
I believe
table,
it's $250 for a table of 8.
8 people. So if you
reach
got
out
an
to us
organization,
before
want
they
to
go.
treat your folks onto a night of
Yeah.
dancing and music and fun and food, and
Yeah.
come on out and have. It's a lot of fun. If you've ever been part of the 70s
is.
dance, it's a lot of fun. You get to literally let your hair down and pretend to be someone else and
And then
dance.
you get to
and
dance. And, yeah.
mingle. Maybe you're looking for maybe
Yeah.
you're single looking for. Just saying, come
Yeah.
correct. Come 70s and come in there. You could be could be the John Travolta of the night.
You could be.
You could come in there with your white suit, bam, hit the disco fever.
Yes. Could be a whole thing.
Of course, it depends on how old you are. Like
That's true.
Like I remember Saturday Night Fever, but as a kid, I had the Muppets version. So I had the record with Grover in the Saturday
Mm-hmm.
Night Fever outfit. So when I see it, I think of Grover.
Yeah.
From the Muppets.
John Travolta would be proud.
I wish I had my kindergarten, my clothes from like when I was my
Right.
mom dressed me in the 70s
The
when I went.
vest, yes.
I remember to this day there was a thing in kindergarten where they had a big old piece of paper
Mhm.
and they outlined us and then we were supposed to color us in with our
Mhm.
clothing and everything. And my mom dressed me in these pants. They were like leisure suit pants. They were that polyester, bell bottomed. But they were all like a plaid color with 37,000. I had like a green-esque version, a brown-esque
Mhm.
version, a orange-esque version.
Yeah, it matched everything.
And I wore them every day. And so there was not enough crayons in the box
to get
my pants right. I kind of wish I still had
The
those.
lines, yeah.
You see pictures of me as a kid from the 70s, like, man, look at them. What did you dress me in, Mom? I'm sitting there with those.
It was the
Like I
fashion.
literally had those pants with
heyday.
37 colors and then a bright orange Disney World Mickey Mouse T-shirt.
Yeah.
Just good Lord.
Dude.
I look like a traffic cone. But anyway.
They saw you coming. That's all right.
I was easy to find when I got lost in stores.
There you go.
But anyway, come join us Friday night
Please
for
do.
that 70s dance.
Yeah.
And please, If you'd like to help out the refuge in more ways than one,
just contact us.
Come talk if you'd like to donate, or if you'd like to get in there and start doing some renovating, or if you're a handy person that can offer electrical or yard work or anything like that. They're always looking for that kind of stuff.
We are.
And then, of course, if the whole point of this, if you're dealing with stuff, there is a 24/7 hotline that the Roswell Refuge runs. It's completely anonymous. If you are a victim and want to talk, if you are a person that, I don't know, just suspects something and not sure how to handle it, this hotline is for you. It's available 24/7. It's from people that aren't here, so it's anonymous, so you don't have to worry about, Dave, is that you? And you don't have to worry about none of that. It's going to be just completely fine. And like I said, you are in control. If you're ready to break away from your situation, the folks on the other end of the phone will help you do that.
They will.
If you just want to bend an ear and talk a little bit, that's what it's there for too. Whatever it is, and maybe you just want to talk today.
Maybe
Tomorrow,
you need to know the signs.
Yeah.
But that number is 575-627-8361.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. Like maybe you see something where you suspect.
Yeah.
I think I know a guy that my neighbor's doing something. I don't know. And I get it. People don't want to, do. But
it's not my business.
When it comes to
Sometimes
domestic violence, you make it your business. And like
if something's not sitting right with you, it's probably not right.
I like to say we are much better at it today than we were 30 years ago. I mean, like nowadays, if you pull a scene in a store like this, somebody's going to step in.
Yeah,
and do
we're going to
something.
let someone know.
Or 20 years ago, that was like mind your own business, move along, and things. And so, but this is that reminder. If you see something, and now don't be playing superhero and try to break it up yourself. Call the manager if it's in a store. Let them deal with it, or call
the
law
police.
enforcement.
Yeah,
call law enforcement direct. Let the people trained to do this, but at the same time, don't do nothing and just walk away and say that's not my business. Because even if you're wrong, the cop will sort it out, and it'll be, it was a big misunderstanding. Everybody goes about their day. But if not,
due diligence.
You may have just set the table to save that person's life, because if you did nothing now, they probably would have killed him later in another scenario.
Yeah,
and that's the reality of domestic violence.
It is.
Please reach out and to be honest, if you yourself are an offender, the refuge can help you too.
Yes.
There's programs
we do. We
free
have a
for
great
volunteer
offender.
and all that. If you want to come on your own, a lot of the others that the judge orders is a little different.
Yeah, it's a bit punitive.
but it's available there too. Because we
come work on yourself. Get some help for it.
Lauren,
you're not alone.
We've talked. Oh man, just all the time. But we've talked a bunch of times that it's a cycle. Odds are people that are abusers were abused as kids, as younger, and so we got to break the cycle. Let you start that. So please reach out to the refuge. Before we go,
unlearn some behaviors.
Yeah, before we go, get the hotline number
575-627-8361.
And that's the 24/7. Anything. If you're a victim, if you are an abuser, if you just want to, something's not right, you want to talk. That's what that's there.
Yeah.
Anything else? Call the office number. And this one, if you need restraining orders, if you got that 70s dance questions.
Same stuff, 575-624-3222.
And that one's not 24/7. That's office.
That's our admin.
Yeah, that's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday type.
Yeah.
So please reach out to that if you have any questions about that 70s dance,
just
volunteering.
let us know.
If you need a restraining order, you go through that number, or refuge related. Thrift store related.
Yes, call us.
Stuff, all that through there as well. And any refuge business that's not dealing directly with shelter stuff. So that's
thank you for having me, Mike.
Anytime, and we'll see everybody Friday night.
Yes, we will.
6 p.m. To midnight at the Eagles there on Sunset, 3201 South Sunset. Come on out and bring your best 70s duds, or your worst, doesn't matter. Just come out in your 70s gear
come
and
out
let you
and
have some
support
fun.
us.
There will be a costume contest, so someone will judge you on your 70s
and
attire.
they will win.
And if you do good, you will win stuff.
That's right. Very good. Yay. Awesome, sir.
Thank you, Lauren. See you next time.
Alrighty.
And tell everyone we're so thankful for the work they do over
Thank
there.
you so much. I will.
The volunteers at the Refuge Insane do things that most of us should never have to ever see.
That's right.
So we appreciate it. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Roman Catholics around the world are grieving the loss of Pope Francis as mourners gather in Rome and church bells toll in the Eternal City and beyond. The Vatican says the pontiff died at 7:35 this morning, a day after greeting crowds on St. Peter's Square and granting Vice President Vance a private audience.
The 88-year-old Pope had entered the hospital on February 14th to receive treatment for pneumonia and a complex lung infection. In recent years, Francis had overcome numerous health problems, even though knee and sciatica ailments had restricted his movement during public appearances, often to a wheelchair. Even so, he kept up an active travel schedule as recently as last December to Corsica. Born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, he became Pope after Conclave's election in March 2013, following the rare resignation of Pope Benedict that year on February 28th. George Williams reporting.
Defense Secretary Hegseth reportedly had a second signal chat where he shared details of pending military action.
According to the New York Times, Hegseth used the Signal messaging app to tell his wife, brother, and a senior advisor about a March military airstrike against Yemen's Houthi militants. The details about the strike were similar to those that were sent in another chat group, which mistakenly included a journalist. There are calls for Hegseth's removal, but White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president absolutely has confidence in Secretary Hegseth, and he stands behind him. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A powerful, slow-moving storm system brought flooding rains, large hail, and tornadoes to parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Illinois, Missouri, and beyond over the weekend. Many high-water rescues, trees down, power outages across a vast area. The fierce weather blamed for at least 3 deaths. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow is down 793 points, while the Nasdaq is off 416. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Russia's brief Easter ceasefire with Ukraine is over, each side accusing the other of having violated the truce. However, there was a lull in fighting in some places, and the BBC's James Waterhouse reports from one of them.
This limited ceasefire has brought with it an eerie quiet. Kherson has been occupied, liberated, and flooded. Today there seems to be a strange standoff where both sides are watching each other. This could either be the first paving stones of a path to peace, or the familiar rhythm of this war could return. Most of the front line has stayed active, but Ukraine hasn't seen lulls in fighting, like here in Kherson, for years.
Vice President Vance has arrived in India. It's a 4-day visit as New Delhi looks to avoid U.S. tariffs and negotiate a bilateral trade deal with the U.S. Vance meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the first day of his visit. News and analysis, townhall.com. Capital One gets a green light to acquire Discover.
Regulators announced the Federal Reserve and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency approved the more than $35 billion deal on Friday. The merger was approved by the Justice Department earlier this month. The deal would give Capital One a major advantage against other credit card bank insurers like J.P. Morgan Chase and Citigroup that don't process transactions themselves. In a joint statement, Discover and Capital One said they expect to close a deal on May 18th. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Paul Revere rode down the street proclaiming the runners are coming as the Boston Marathon helped to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. Reenactors on horseback, accompanied by a fife and drum playing Yankee Doodle, helped to start today's festivities. Today it is the 129th running of the Boston Marathon under clear skies and cool temperatures. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Ah, yes. Welcome to it.
Not as exciting Friday or anything else.
Slipping into my late in life Orson Welles cutting wine commercial. Ah, yes. The French champagne.
I know, Orson Welles, and everyone thinks of, Citizen Kane and all the things. But for me, and just where I grew up and my age and everything else, when I think of Orson Welles, I think of this documentary.
Okay.
That, I ain't gonna lie, it messed with me as a kid.
Yeah?
As an adult, no. It's antiquated. You can't watch it anymore. But it was a documentary that I remember seeing on regular TV because there was no cable back then. There was only like 3 channels.
Right.
And I remember seeing a documentary, and Orson Welles was the narrator, and it's about Nostradamus. Okay. And it was him doing, of course, all the stuff he predicted to Hitler and all the things that they've said 1,000 times.
Sure.
Now, this was put out in the early 80s or late 70s. So this was...
back before the internet could disprove things.
Yeah. And so he was stating that he was reading or talk about Nostradamus' predictions of the end of the world and the man in the blue turban and all this, and it was supposed to be like in 1990 something.
Right.
Something like that. Of course, obviously that didn't come true, but as a kid, I was hearing that. I thought we were doomed. I thought,
sure.
I was like, what's the point of me being an adult? We're dead in 92 or whatever it is. It butthurt scared me.
It's amazing to me what terrified me as a child, and then I go back, and it's funny because I go back and I watch it, and I still get creeped out or chills from it, but it's different because it doesn't scare me. Now it's just like, oh, that would have scared the crap out of me when I was a kid, and now it's like nostalgic chills almost.
Now, and I got to be honest, I'm going to take a stab. It came on a Friday night because I feel like I either watched it before or after the Dukes of Hazzard.
All right.
And the Dukes would come on Friday night because Dallas came on Friday nights too, I believe. Because Dukes was on after Dallas. Or before Dallas, sorry. It was like Dukes was the 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock here. And then
Mike turns into his grandma. My stories are on.
Well, this was 70s.
I know. That's all you had.
We didn't have the internet. This is what you got. This is the only entertainment. That's why we sat there watching the Jiffy Pop going, ooh, ah. Because that's all we got.
It was a Jiffy, man. This really is a Jiffy.
But that to this day, and I'm not even sure if you could find it anywhere on anything because it's so dated. You can't. It's all happened and didn't happen. Or whatever.
I've spent my whole adult life looking for one piece of footage that, when I was a child, terrified me. And we had it on VHS. I remember my dad recorded it. So I was a young child, 4, 5, 6, in the late 80s / 90 to 91, right at the height of satanic panic. And my dad had recorded an episode of this show called The John Ankerberg Show.
Okay.
John Ankerberg was I think maybe still is, a TV evangelist, but he does his show is more like a current affair, where he'll take a topic and he'll news magazine and he'll investigate it. And
sort of
deep
700 Club like?
Little bit. It might have even been a CBN property, but they did this episode, and I remember watching this several times when I was a kid, and it was just talking about the music, rock music specifically, and heavy metal, and how it's tied into Satan and Satanism and all this. and they played all these clips from like heavy metal artists, and they interspersed it with clips of like dancing witches doing like sacrifices. And at one point, somebody like grabbed a knife and like it showed their bloody hand, like they were bloodletting.
Oh, that's weird.
And then there was this one. It cut to this scene where there's this like upside down, what they call a Baphomet, which is an upside down pentagram, and they're like dancing in the middle of it and doing this like, but it's all interspersed with like, and I'm serious when I say like Judas Priest, like that, or like
that's starting to get like,
it was weird, like Madonna, some of the Madonna stuff, but then it would cut to like real like heavy metal where there was one scene I just remember there was like, and I'm probably misremembering this, but it was showing the music video, and it was just showing this like green, like, you know when you have like the can of nuts that has the spring snake? It was like green, one of those. It was just coming out of this guy's mouth, and he was just like pulling it out.
Oh, weird.
It was very odd.
It seems like some weird Max Headroom.
Like I said, I saw this when I was a very little kid,
right,
and it crept into my nightmares. Intersperse that with the fact that my dad was taking a course at our local church called Battling Satanism: A Haunting Task. And so we had these, it was a big blue pamphlet. My mom probably still has one of these. And it was just all these different like ways to talk to people who were, into Satanism and all that. The back of the thing was just all these symbols of Satanism. It had like the pentagram, the Baphomet,
the how-to guide.
And I poo you not, one of the symbols on the back of this thing was live long and prosper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was saying this is somehow satanic symbolatry.
I think we got to talk with Spock about that one.
Right. And of course, they work in Freemasonry and that symbol and all
that's
that.
That's the problem, is all these people that get down these avenues turn everything into everything.
Yeah. If you didn't fully live it and fully like experience it, well, I would say one of the best representations, if you can like forget about all the other stuff, is Stranger Things. Especially the later seasons of Stranger Things, because they kind of really delve into that whole, all these kids and their Dungeons and Dragons and Satanism. And
I remember Dungeons and Dragons was the devil.
Oh, that's like so funny.
Like we used to play it like, and I played it like 3 times my whole life because I just didn't have the patience for that game. It's just too much work. I'm like, if I can't figure out the rules in 3 minutes, I don't want to mess with it.
Right.
But I did like have some friends and try it a couple times, but it was always like, do it at night when everyone's gone and doing the bait. It was always like, I can't tell anybody.
Right.
It was always something stupid. It was just dumb. I never got into it. I know some people.
Yeah, that was to have lived through Satanic Panic is a very interesting time for sure.
I rather played hockey. I was more into.
Right. Mike was in Gretzky Panic.
That's right. All I care about is Dukes has an A team in a hockey game. That's about it.
That would be a nice childhood. I'm glad you had that, Mike. I'm glad for you.
I grew up with. I remember once I learned to ride the bike. That was the Dukes Hazard.
Yeah.
We all rode around on our bikes going, and that's all we did. That was the only. And then we'd argue who's Bo Duke and who's Lou Duke. That was pretty much. And then the one token girl was Daisy.
Right, of course.
One token girl that hung out with us.
Oh, you're Smurfette. Yeah, no, I remember growing up as a kid. You just have to be Smurfette.
And then the kid that everyone hated was Roscoe or something like that. It was always.
This is kind of loosely connected, but it just crossed my mind when you said it. The creator of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, in an interview recently, says he deeply regrets that he made the Black Ranger the black kid and the Yellow Ranger the Asian girl.
Hindsight on that one.
He deeply regrets that he didn't think things through on those two.
Well, never mind. I was going to say
it made me laugh. It made me like, because SNL kind of nailed it. They said it was even worse when he talked about the green lazy Mexican.
Yeah, it gets really like the red
or when he made the Mexican one, the lazy one.
Yeah.
But
that goes. That's what I was thinking, because I was thinking, well, wait. What about
yeah, because you could keep going with that. You could, but we're not going.
It doesn't end well.
Down that path that ends in cease and desist. But
and I'm old enough where I was too old for Power Rangers.
Right.
Like I was like, by the time that came out, there's no way a boy of my age be watching.
And honestly, I probably was too, but I still enjoyed it.
Well, also teenage boys have hormones. And if you put a remotely hot girl on it, doesn't matter what the thing of the show is.
Dude,
they're going to watch it.
I was wildly attached to the story of Wonder Years.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I saw that one backlit shot of Winnie and Kevin sitting there, kind of like with the first kiss thing, I was like, I'm in. She's cute. I'm in.
Saved by the Bell ain't for your 12-year-old boy or girl. It's just not. It's teenage boys watch that show, and they ain't watching it for Zach.
No.
Or
Well,
Screech.
Some of them were for some watch it for Slater for sure.
Oh, some did.
Yes,
but most were not.
I knew quite a few young ladies and a couple of young fellas who swooned over.
Yeah, the ladies cared about the content.
AC.
Why do you think they was so excited when all the guys were happy when that one girl, as soon as she, got quit the show, went and did that Showgirls movie? That movie's awful.
Yeah.
But it was a hit because of one thing. That it was a sea of storm at the perfect time.
Yes, it's true.
And just a whole generation of boys were like, I could see this girl naked. All right, I'm watching this movie.
What's funny is I still unironically reference that movie in my real life because I say that I like to sleep Showgirls poster style with just one foot hanging out the blanket.
To be honest, I don't think I've ever still this day seen that movie from start to finish.
No, you don't need to. It's there for what it's there for, and you can turn it off.
Robert
No one
Redford's in
has.
it.
Yeah, no one has. There's a whole post-credit scene that no one's ever seen. They forgot they even made it.
There's actually other famous people in it. Isn't like Demi Moore in it or something?
Oh, yeah.
too?
It's kind of loaded.
Burt Reynolds, isn't he in it too?
Yeah, Burt Reynolds is in it, yep.
Sure, yeah. Didn't care.
For someone who hasn't seen the full movie, you certainly know a lot about it.
Like I said, I've seen what I need to see.
Seen what I need to see. And stop.
All right, let me give you the rundown on that note. Saw what I saw. All I need to see. But let me give you the rundown here. We'll get you up to date with the weather in just a bit. And then shortly thereafter, we're going to play our interview we had last week with Peggy Boland talking Camp Advention, which is the first week in June, happening at All Saints Catholic School. And great STEAM camp, actually, week long. They do 4 modules. They've been doing it for many years now. But it's time to sign up again for that. So we'll play that interview here in just a bit.
Limited space available.
That's right. That's Roy's show to Showgirls. Anyway. That's inside baseball. 9:17, here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. We have high pressure parked over the desert southwest, and that'll be keeping things sunny for us. Our afternoon highs in the mid-80s. For the overnight hours, we'll have clear skies and our low in the mid-40s. Looks like mid-80s again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we keep the sunshine. We'll start warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the upper 80s, but it will stay sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 31%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Warm pretty much all week. We're going to be in the 80s for most of it. Sunny and 83 for today. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 50. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour Tuesday. Sunny 87 for a high tomorrow. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear, overnight low of 53. South winds 5 to 10. Wednesday, sunny and 88. South winds 5 to 15. Thursday, sunny, 88 as well. Friday, sunny and 81. And then Friday night for the weekend, they're giving us pretty decent rain chances for now. A 40% chance of rain for Friday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 56. A 50% chance at rain Saturday, partly cloudy and 77. 30% chance at rain Saturday night, partly cloudy, 54 for an overnight low. And then Sunday, a 20% chance at rain, sunny and 85 otherwise. So we'll see. I'm going to take a stab that, like usually happens, is tomorrow those chances will be a little less. And about the time we get Thursday and Friday, there'll be hardly any chance at all. That'd be my guess, but maybe I'll be wrong. All right, at 9:19, we're going to take a 4-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Peggy Boland talking Camp Invention. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
Hey, Roswell, during these unprecedented times when others are raising prices, Roswell Ford is lowering ours with employee pricing for everyone. So you pay what we pay. Only at Roswell Ford. Make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current vehicle and black out early? Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, and we have them for less. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you and perform oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for everyone. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new low, subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Expires at month's end.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Interested in being an electric lineman? Central Valley Electric Cooperative is hosting a lineman camp May 29th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the CVE office at 1403 North 13th Street in Artesia. Camp is open to ages 17 to 22. Come spend the day with CVE linemen and learn about electricity and perform hands-on activities. Lunch will be provided. For more information and to register, visit cvecoop.org or call 575-746-3571. See if you have what it takes to be an electric lineman on May 29th at CVE's Lineman Camp. We hope to see you there.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Tee up for the 3rd annual Roswell Honda Charity Golf Tournament, Saturday and Sunday, April 26th and 27th at Spring River Golf Course in Roswell, with a double shotgun start at 7:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday. Prizes for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place, as well as longest drive closest to the pin, and a Honda Civic driver and putter with a hole-in-one. Plus, free breakfast and lunch each day, and free beer. Don't forget about the Trans-Aero helicopter golf ball drop at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Proceeds this year to benefit the VFW of Roswell, providing support and resources to our local veterans of foreign wars. Sign your team up at roswellhonda.com or find Roswell Honda Charity Golf Tournament on Facebook to learn more. The 3rd annual Roswell Honda Charity Golf Tournament, Saturday and Sunday, April 26th and 27th at the Spring River Golf Course in Roswell. Sponsored by Pepsi, Southwest Printers, Pecos Valley Broadcasting, Albertsons, Trans-Aero Medevac, ABC Distributors, and Roswell Honda. Together we play for a purpose. Together we make a difference.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, talking camp invention, Peggy Bolin back with us. Good morning, Peggy.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Of course, last time we talked to you, you're about to go on an adventure. So you're back from said adventure.
Yes.
Yes, you got to go see Iceland.
Yes, and that was awesome.
So everyone, like my people I know that spent time there were there for the military, and they all loved it. So from your perspective, it sounds like it was pretty amazing.
It was great.
Yeah.
The food, the people, the tour I took, the places I saw. Oh my!
What was the climate? Is because I hear Iceland is more more mild than Greenland. Like
right, right. But Iceland, it was still cold. It
yeah,
was
I imagine
March.
it is up north,
You know,
close
and
to the
it-
Arctic Circle.
Right,
yes.
and it rained a few of the days we were there, and they were apologetic. I'm like, I live in Roswell.
Yeah, I was like, we don't see rain. It's
we
nice.
get rain, like when it floods.
We celebrate it. Unless it all comes in 1 hour.
Exactly. So yeah, it was beautiful. I went into an ice cave. I saw the Northern Lights, and just gorgeous.
What's Icelandic cuisine like? I'm not even sure.
Fish.
Yeah, a lot of fish.
And lamb.
Okay. Oh, lamb.
Mhm,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. How do they prepare it? Like a Mediterranean? Like fish I can see, but like lamb, I'm thinking, because I think of more Middle East or more Mediterranean. So I'm kind of curious how they do their lamb.
I had it in a burger. I had lamb burger. I had lamb meatballs.
So they just all kinds of ways.
They grill it.
It's like beef to them up there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So
Interesting.
but they also have beef. They have their cows.
But it's probably cheaper to have the lamb, huh? Because there's probably more abundant of it. Yeah, beef's probably a little more expensive there.
Yeah, but oh my goodness, it was so good.
Yeah, because I was trying to think, like, what is Icelandic cuisine? But I'm guessing it's probably a little similar to some Scandinavian food, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So if you eat in Sweden or Norway, probably Iceland eats similar,
Yeah, but it was
a lot of fish. A
lot of fish. I mean, it makes sense.
Ain't nothing wrong
They're
with
an
that.
island.
They got plenty of it, and it's actually quite healthy.
Yeah, in Iceland, if you could put 5 Icelands in the state of Texas.
Yeah, it's not
So
a
it's
whole
not
lot
very
to it.
big.
It's like going to Hawaii. You see the whole island.
Yeah, we went all the way around the island.
So
Down
what's like and we'll get to camp invention, I promise.
Okay.
But what's like as a tourist, what kind of things is it? A lot of like parks type things, or what's kind of their things for tourists to do in Iceland?
Waterfalls.
A lot of so it's a lot of the
waterfalls.
seeing their
Yes.
parks and things like that.
Yes.
There's not like your Disney Worlds or whatever in Iceland or whatever. There's none of that kind of.
Reykjavik is their big city, and
Yes.
so we were
That's
able
where the
to walk
military folks
around
go if
and-
you ever get. Usually it's an
that's the
isolated
only-
tour. Yeah.
That's the only international airport. It's in Reykjavik.
Well, the whole island.
Your choice is Reykjavik.
It's not big enough for another one.
No.
But but I remember a lot of people military because it was usually an isolated tour. They couldn't go with their family, but they loved it. Like it's put it this way, people were like, "I'll take it over Korea any day of the weekend."
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like living in a resort for a year. I'm guessing.
It's so nice.
That's very cool. I'm glad. So, have you vowed to return?
Yeah, probably in July.
Nice. Oh, and a little bit warmer.
Yeah, a little bit warmer.
Nice.
Well,
See
the
the
guy
summer months.
said that I probably shouldn't say these times, but he said March is a great month, but also the last 2 weeks in June.
Okay.
So don't spread that around because then it's going to be too crowded the last 2 weeks. In
And I
June.
imagine because of where they're located, they probably have long summer days.
Yes.
And in the winter, it's shorter days.
Which is why in the winter you see the northern lights.
Yeah, and I'm
in
saying
the
much
summer you
shorter,
don't.
like how Alaska only gets an hour or two a daylight.
That's
I don't think
what they
they're
have.
I don't think they're quite that bad, but it's close to that.
It's
yeah.
about the same as they're
Is it?
saying.
Okay.
Which is, the northern lights happen all year long, but you see them when it's dark skies.
Yeah.
And during the summer, you really don't see dark skies.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like I was in Germany when I was in the military and just where Germany is located on the axis there. During the summer, it does not get dark till like 11 o'clock at night there.
I know, it's
that
kind of
late.
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so places like Iceland, it may get dark at like 2 a.m. for an hour, and then it's light by 4 a.m. again.
Right. That's why I was like, that's why I insisted on going in March. I'm
Yeah.
like, I know it's going to be cold, but let's go.
Yeah, but so yes, you got to experience it where 2 a.m. it's still daylight out and do that.
Yes.
So that's got to be. Which I imagine, for the younger crowds out partying and stuff, they probably it's a lot more. Even though there's no night, a lot bigger nightlife during the summer.
Exactly.
Very cool. But we're not here to talk about Iceland, but highly recommend if you got the means and the ability, go book a trip and see. It sounds like it's a beautiful
It was
country.
expensive.
Yeah.
But
I
it
would
was
imagine.
cool.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
But, once in a lifetime experiences is
Exactly.
something you can't put a value on. So.
Exactly.
Which I would argue for your children, Camp Invention is definitely one of those things. It is. It's been going on for a long time. I know here in Roswell, you've been this 15 going on 20 years of this thing.
Yeah,
now.
it seems like it.
Yeah, it's been going on forever. But this is a camp that is put on nationally by the Inventors Hall of Fame folks, the people. I think, are they the ones that back in the day, the commercials were the guy with the cartoon with the caveman and the wheel? If you've got an invention, submit it to. I used to see those during the 80s all the time. I think these are the same folks.
Could be.
But anyway, they've put out this camp for years called Camp Invention, and each year, and the camp is kind of evolved where it was mostly STEM. But now it's more STEAM than STEM because they've incorporated so much more arts and things that you don't necessarily associate with STEAM or STEM, but are very much in that too. Because it's really life skills as much. Like they're learning science and math and engineering, but
and technology.
Yeah, and technology. But through the 4 modules, they're also learning life skills. Like how to plan a trip on a GPS, or
Teamwork.
how to plan these are skills that. It's going to serve them as adults regardless of what they do for their dreams and careers and things like that. So that's what I love about this is these kids and regardless. Now the camp is for kids entering kindergarten up through 6th grade, and all the kids do the same projects each week or each of the 4, but they do it at different levels. So the kids that are in kindergarten and 1st grade, they're getting a little more elementary learning experience there, whereas the 4th, 5th, 6th graders, they're getting a little bit more advanced version of the same thing. But if you've been to the camp before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And each year the camp is different. It's same in the model and how it's done, but different in there's 4 brand new modules every single year. So if you started as a kindergarten and go through 6th grade, you're not going to do the same project that entire time.
Everything is different.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah. So and it's real, and the cool thing is these are projects they get to take home and keep and. Keep
and
show their
and
families or do for show and tell when they go back to school in the fall.
Well, I like doing it at the beginning of the summer so the kids have something to do during the summer instead of just being on their computer or Game Boy or whatever.
Yeah. Or when they're going on their family trip, they can bring this along too to incorporate
if it's small enough.
Absolutely. Yeah. Some projects get a little big, but most of them you can fit in the back of a car pretty easily. But and so this year we got, and again, 4 more great projects. Now, big difference between this year is you're only accepting 70 campers this
75.
year. 75 campers. They're cutting it off there. So if you're one of those folks, we're going to wait till the end of May to sign your child up for Camp Invention this year, you might be left holding the bag because they've been signing up for well over a month now. And as soon as that number hits 75, they're shutting it off. There's no more campers we can take. We're at the max capacity for camp counselors, camp materials, to make sure everyone has an ultimate camp experience. 75 is that magic number. So that's what we're doing. So,
but I'm really excited. We do have some scholarship money that I'm ready to hand it out.
That's the good news. If you now pull back the curtain, it's 200 and where's it at? My thick eyes. 290 for an entire camp experience there.
Which isn't bad. It's 9 to 3:30.
And the amount of stuff you get is
tons of stuff.
It's put it this way: if you if you just paid for
babysitting,
babysitting, you'd pay more than that.
Yes,
and
easily
get a third of what you're going to get with the camp.
Right.
But if that's a steep number for you, Peggy offers what's called a partial scholarship. Now, to take advantage of this, you're going to have to register different. If you don't need a scholarship help or anything like that, you can go to invent.org/camp, and then you're going to see a thing that says find a camp near you. Click that link, type in Roswell 88201, anything as a locator to us, and there'll be one camp that pops up.
Yes,
it'll be the Roswell camp.
One camp.
And you click on that and then register that way, and you can register and get your child signed up and everything else. However,
and there is a discount.
There is
until March 20th.
Okay.
So it's coming up. No, wait.
Oh, no, that's past. We're in April now.
There is another discount.
There is another discount.
Yeah,
okay, good.
There's $15
Okay,
off.
good. And that's probably through what, April 20th or April 30th?
Something like that.
Okay. Go to invent.org and you'll see that offer code in there. Enter the code on that. Usually it's like fun
25.
Fun 20.
I mean, it's now fun 15.
Fun
Sorry.
15.
Fun
Very
15.
good. That'll be
Sorry
the code.
about that.
And then enter that in. However,
I lost a month there.
Well, that's why I looked at this. I was like, no, this one's not good. I didn't know there was another one. But if you need a little bit bigger than that $15 discount, then call Peggy Bolin direct, and I'll give you that information here in a minute. Talk to her and say, hey, I'd love to do this, but I can't afford the $290. Can you help me out here? And tell tell your story, talk about it. She can help you quite a bit, depending on what's going on now. To make sure everyone is invested into this, all families are asked to pay something.
Right.
Maybe it's just, a third of the price or whatever it is, but whatever that number is, they want you to, just so we make sure that you bring your child and they get to be a part of this camp every week, because we hate to cover all these costs and then you don't end up bringing your child to enjoy this. So,
right. And I've had families with 3-4 kids.
Yeah. And
reach
that's
out
just
to
it
me
too.
and I help.
And that's just it. I get it. Sometimes you have more than one kid.
Yeah, and some people are kind of shy about asking.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, you're calling for a reason.
I get it. You know what? I work too. But I guess what? If I have to shell $600 for camp this week, that's a lot of money for me to do.
That's like, ouch.
Yeah. So yeah, talk to Peggy. Let's help. And the reason why we can do this is because we have some very generous people that love and support what Camp Invention does,
right.
and they donate their own money. And the great thing about it is Peggy handles the who gets what and where, but the money goes to Camp Invention. It's already sitting.
Right. Right.
The money goes into a fund that's basically sitting there, and as Peggy gets donations, it goes right to that fund. And then when we need to draw out for these scholarships, then she draws it out for the scholarships.
Right. And I don't handle any of the money.
Yeah, it's all done by. You just put in the
with
requests or whatever it is to Camp Invention.
Right. And then they take care of it. And they're in Ohio. So
but you can't do it through the website. You got to do it through
if you
Peggy.
want a scholarship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if you don't need
discount.
any more than the $15 scholarship, then go to invent.org/camp, fill out. And I highly recommend all of you go there anyway, because and we're going to explain to you the 4 modules, but there's videos showing exactly what these modules are. And so you can show your kids to get them kind of hyped for what they're going to be doing that week. So you can bring them on there and say, see, this cool thing, you're going to be making that. And this thing, you're going to be making that too. And then this thing too, and then your brother and your sister are going to make one too. And, that's, so you get to hype your kids up for the thing and do all that. But invent.org/camp, that's where you go to see all that good stuff.
Right. And it's so fun. The parents, even you, want to go to camp.
Absolutely.
So
exactly. I'm kind of like, I know it's a bit inappropriate, but can I sit here and make this stuff too? I won't eat too many snacks, I promise.
Yeah, really.
But so since we teased it, talk a little bit about the 4 modules that each of the campers are going to work on this year.
Okay, so the first module is called Claw Arcade.
Okay, and this is very much like when you go into Denny's or Pizza Hut, you see the
little claw
thing where you get the clocks of the stuffed bears or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Campers unleash nature-inspired creativity to make their own claw machines with unique prizes, then give a confidence-boosting pitch to hook investors.
Nice.
Yes.
So they get to learn a little business, a little engineering, a little science, and all that too, and then have fun, trying to, fish stuff out of their own arcade.
Right. And they get to take their claw machine home.
Yeah, exactly. So they get. Yeah, this is something they take home and hopefully, I know depending on the age of your kid, might break it a week later. I wish I still had my Star Wars.
But even if
toys.
they break it, if they're learning, then they can rebuild.
Well, they can. And unfortunately, these will not hold the value of the Star Wars toys you broke when you were a kid. No one's going to pay hundreds of dollars for these later on. I'm sorry.
You're probably right. Okay, the next one's called Penguin Launch. This one's cute.
Yeah.
Campers team up for an eco expedition as they investigate Antarctica, another place I want to go, with a robotic assistant. Then design launchers to propel plush penguins across snowy landscapes.
Nice. So they get to learn a little bit about, moving things and all that. But then they get to explore Antarctica and learn, about this continent, the continent, no one lives on. No one.
That's right. Except penguins.
Yeah. Only people live there. They're there for a minute to study it, and then they're,
That's right.
And I guess I wonder, as a civilian, can you even go to Antarctica?
Oh, yeah.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if you had to be part of a scientific group or something to go.
It's expensive.
I was about to say, it's probably for millionaire types to do it.
Yeah.
But,
That's why I'm saying I'd like to go.
Right.
So in control, campers take the driver's seat on the ultimate road trip as they design a custom control panel and navigate their journey with help from GPS and an AI tool.
Nice. So they get to learn a little robotics there, a little bit of GPS, and of course, again, planning. Adulting skills, learning those
planning
things.
A trip.
Yeah, organizing things. How this is that part where you teach your kids. It's like, look, trips don't just happen. We don't.
That's right.
We got to plan them. Like I learned a lot of this through scouting when they were like, "You want to go on a camping trip? Oh, great. how's the food going to get there? How's the
Right.
thing? You know, so this is a way for kids to learn. It's like, events just don't happen. You don't just show up and there's clowns and balloons and everything else. You got to plan it. You got to organize it. You got to, and this is kind of that first steps for them to learn. You know, hey, you want to make this trip? This is what you got to do that trip. So,
right.
Pretty cool stuff. This is stuff that kids that you just, there's not really a class per se to teach. They just, through osmosis or life, you learn these things, and now they're kind of getting it in a formal way. So it's
Right,
cool.
which is cool.
Yeah.
The last one's called Illusion Workshop. When they explore the science behind special effects, campers uncover optical illusions in movies, art, and animation before building their own moving props.
Nice. So this sounds like if you have a kid that's even in filmmaking, but even like if you got your David Blaines out there that want to learn, illusion and how they do that through through media and stuff here, but that's,
It's
I'm just saying.
Stepping stone.
Well, and I would argue based on like if you watch today's, like if you watch America's Got Talent or any of these kind of shows, the magicians and stuff nowadays are doing a lot with like digital and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, so if you've got that entertainer bit in you on that side, this could, because yes, initially you think, okay, if you want to learn to make films, how do you make the something look expensive very cheaply, and that's going to be a lot of that. But I would argue this also works for your David Blaines and David Copperfields of the world out there too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Right.
So, but any kid that's interested in that kind of stuff, I think will love that module.
Right.
Stuff. But yeah, if you got any, those kids that love stealing your phone and start videoing and making movies and everything, this might be, you might want to make sure they get in on that module.
Right.
They show up for that day. And,
well, they're in. So they have these modules every day.
Yeah, that's just
and
frequent.
They build on the first. Some people they may not be able to make it the first day.
Gotcha.
That's fine. They can come Tuesday through
and
Friday.
pick it up on the
Some
next day.
people they go out of town on Friday, so they only come Monday through Thursday. That's fine too.
We'll make it happen.
We have been very flexible with parents,
Now,
and
that being said, if they're available the whole time, we would love to have them.
That would be best if they're available the whole time, but.
I also want to throw out there another option for folks too, because the camp runs during the week from 9 to 3, and this is going to be that first 3:30. I'm sorry, and it's that first week in June, June 2nd through June 6th, and it's back at the same location, All Saints Catholic School. Once again, it's been home there for a couple of years now.
This will be its second year.
Second year, so it's new foreseeable future home. Thank you to them for allowing it to come back once again. But that camp runs 9 to 3:30. There is for an additional fee, you can, because I get it, you've got to be at work at 7. You can't bring your kid at 9.
Correct.
Well, from 7:30 to 5:30, right?
Right, 7:30 to 5:30.
They have what's kind of an extended camp.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're only doing the 9 to 3, you're not missing anything.
Right.
This is just more of the same. So if you can bring them in at 8 or 7:30 or 8:30 or whatever it is, that's when you can do it. They come in and work on camp projects, side projects and things, and then they'll start official camp there at 9 a.m. Same thing, camp will ramp up at 3:30, but if they're going to hang out up till 5:30, then they'll have other projects and things to keep them entertained and occupied. And yes, they might have a few extra learning opportunities there, but But please don't feel like you're missing anything because you're only doing the regular 9 to 3:30.
Right, and that costs an extra $100.
Yeah, that's an extra $100 for that, and it is flexible. So so if you're like, well, I pick them up at 4:30 tomorrow, but it'll be 5 the next.
Yeah,
as long as it's you basically got an extended window from 7:30 to 5:30 to pick up and drop off your child.
Right, except for Friday afternoon, we don't have the extended
that's the last day
because we're
of camp.
cleaning up.
Yeah, that's the last day of camp, and when things wrap up at 3:00 Friday, everyone's going home and turning out the lights.
3:30.
At 3:30, sorry, everyone's turning out the lights and calling it a day.
Right.
So.
And one thing I want to mention on this form, every public school child has received at least one of these. It should have been 2 by now. Third is going out. So if your child or grandchild, whoever, has not brought one of these home, I can guarantee it's shoved in their desk.
One of these flyers like this. Yeah.
Yes. And so these flyers mention that, yes, the $290 before discount, if you want to put it into perspective, it's less than $9 an hour. Tell me of one babysitter who takes less than $9 an hour. They don't.
Not that are qualified or certified.
Yes. And we have 4 certified teachers that have worked with me in the past.
Yeah.
They love coming back to camp. And we've got the high school and college students who
Yeah.
are leadership interns.
Absolutely.
So we need, if anybody
I was going to
wants
ask you, are we full on your LITs, or do you
no,
have
we
some
can.
room?
I can always get more. The
Okay.
LIs, the LITs, that's for middle school
Yeah.
students. Those entering 7th
They're
through
kind
9th.
of that's kind of they're too old for the camp, but too young to be counselors.
Right. They
So-
only cost $190.
Yeah.
So they're not as expensive.
And so they get to do all the camp things like the campers do, but they serve
Mhm.
as like aides to the counselors. So they're going to help, things, help, when kids have, if they need help doing something,
And they
they're
help
going to
the teachers as well.
help to do that. Like if they
Mhm.
need help putting together something, they'll help them do that while the teacher is helping somebody else, or kind of that. Kind
Right.
Of thing. Just,
And one
just being an
thing-
assistant.
Right. And one thing we don't provide is lunch because the parents have to provide lunch, but
Mhm.
we do provide snacks.
Yeah, there's snacks throughout the day and
Right.
stuff. So,
And
but bring a
there's
bag lunch every
a
day.
lovely free T-shirt.
Yeah.
So they get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And the amount of supplies that I get, like 30 boxes of supplies.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, the kits, because there's an obscene amount of material
Yes.
that comes with these four different modules,
Mhm.
and so there's a lot of that. So you're getting the T-shirt, you're getting the week of camp, the experience, you're getting the 4 take-home projects, and snacks every day.
Right.
$290, and by the way, constantly engaging curriculum for the entire day with your kid.
Right, and they won't have their cell phone with them. They won't
yeah.
be engaged in front of the TV.
This isn't go sit under
or
the-
is that called engaged?
Yeah.
They're not going to be couch potatoes in
This
front of the
doesn't
TV.
go sit in the field and go play, and we'll come get you too. It's none of that
Right,
stuff.
right. This is
it's engaging
supervised. This is
stuff.
right, and there's time for lunch and time for reset, or it's kind of it's organized recess, I should say.
Well,
we
they
don't
got
just
they're
let them-
kids. They got to burn off that energy somehow.
Right,
you
right.
know?
So we go outside, and there's
Attention spans aren't always what they are.
There's a supervisor out there, and she provides games for them, and so it's constantly that they're
And that's why these
moving and
modules are cool. Like I said, they're doing a little bit each day, and so it's geared toward young children's attention span. You get about an hour with them, and they're going to get interested in something else. And so you get an hour with them here, and then we're moving on to the next thing while they're still engaged. And so about the time they're probably ready to move on to the next thing, everyone's ready to move on to the next thing, kind of thing. And
yeah,
so
because
that's
it's perfect.
Yeah, and so it really works out.
Flows very well.
Yeah,
and so these modules were tried last year in Ohio. They
Okay.
always do it the year before to make sure
The
they-
guinea pig camp somewhere, and
Right.
they get the year ahead kind of prize.
Right. So they, iron out all the kinks and
Which makes you think that this is such well aware that they're years ahead picking the projects.
oh yeah.
Because in my head, I'm like, I'm thinking about next year's project. Those guys are like, no, we got like 2 years ahead.
Mhm.
We're covered through 2030.
Right. They already know what they're going to do next year because they're trying it out this year.
Absolutely. So hence that I'm going to take a stab. That's the inventor's brain, because I feel like, we've got Formula 409. There was 408 other ones.
Yeah,
It didn't work
exactly.
before. So I feel that's part of the inventor's brain right there.
Right. So I do want to mention it is, again, at All Saints Catholic School for those kids entering kindergarten, 6th grade from June 2nd through the 6th from 9 to 3:30.
Yes.
If people want to contact me about any questions, even if it's not scholarships, if somebody wants to donate money, we're also willing to
Yeah,
take
if you're
that.
thinking, well, I don't have kids that are old enough anymore to
Right.
do this, but I love what they do. Here's $100, or here's $50,
Right.
or here's $1,000.
Right,
whatever
now
it is
tell
you
them
got.
how to send it in to the right place.
And we're very thankful for that, because there's a lot of kids that cannot go to camp unless
Because
you're
of
doing
the
this kind of
finances.
stuff. But
Exactly.
because if
That's
you're
where
able
I'm
to do it.
here.
Yeah.
But they can contact me at 575-420-9955.
Yes.
Or my email is just like my first name, Peggy,
Mhm.
PBOHLIN2016 @gmail.com.
Very good. So, pbolin2016 @gmail.com, or call her direct at 575-420-9955. If you do not get Peggy live, please leave a voicemail. She will definitely call you back as soon as she humanly possible. She does have a day job, and, she can't be by her phone 24/7.
And I really, really encourage people to call me
Please
for
do.
scholarship, because I do have the money
Don't
and I
feel
do
too
need to
proud.
spend it.
Don't feel like you're not
Yes.
deserving. I get it. We all work. We all got jobs. There's times where things are too expensive.
Right.
But this is something that don't make it too expensive for your kid. Doesn't have to be. If the only reason that you're kid can't enjoy this camp is because $290 is too much. That's not the problem.
Right.
Call. Let's
right.
get
That's
that,
why I'm here.
Let's get that
I mean,
rectified.
I've had grandparents, great grandparents, call me.
Yeah.
You know, hey, my
please
grandson needs to do something.
Don't hesitate to reach out
this summer. Right. Because it's a great camp. I mean, I wouldn't have done it this many years if I didn't believe in the camp.
Absolutely. That's just it. The proof's in the pudding. I mean, there's a reason, this camp's been going on as long as it has, and will probably continue to go on for the long as we can foreseeably remember here. It's because A, it's a good camp, good product.
It is.
And B, it really does make a difference. By the way, if you have friends and family in other parts of the country, they may have one of these camps going on.
Oh, I'm sure.
Go to invent.org and type in whatever, like a city near them. Maybe if you got family in Texas, there's multiple camps in Texas. You got family in Colorado, there's camps in Colorado, California, wherever.
Right.
You've got family, there's probably a camp somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I think there's only over 1,500 this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's like McDonald's. They're
right. Right. I think there's only about 5 in New Mexico.
In New Mexico? Okay.
Not many.
And I'm going to say we're probably the lesser, states with one of the least amounts of camp
definitely. Definitely.
Just because we don't have so many people.
Or people don't want to step up and be director.
Sure, yeah. Well, and where the people are, there's probably in Albuquerque where there's already a camp, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You get out into Roosevelt County where population's 50. You know what I mean? They don't have so many camps are out there. But that being said, more than likely there's probably a camp near your family members too. So if they're too far away for this camp, let them know that, hey, check this camp invention out. Bobby, Sue, whoever in your family would definitely benefit from that.
Right, and I've had people come down from Ruidoso. I've had people come up from Artesia.
Yeah, but you probably get some from all over the southeast New Mexico, probably, because you're probably the closest camp for all southeast New Mexico.
Right, but even from Texas.
Nice.
I mean, we've had people from Texas because they're visiting grandma.
Yeah.
Or grandpa.
That makes sense, too.
Aunt and uncle,
Yeah, they're coming for relatives here, and so they live in Texas, but they're coming here to visit grandma. I did that myself when my grandmother lived in New York, where I lived in Maryland, so I had to go to New York for the 2 weeks, and we did.
Right.
There wasn't no cool camp like this. It was more of a.
Don't you wish?
Yeah, mine had.
Jeez.
They had some activities, but it was mostly sports and basketball and hopscotch.
Which is why I brought this here.
Yeah.
Because there are all the sports camps.
Absolutely.
But my 2 kids were geeks, and they love science, and so I brought this here.
And they want the social skill, because that's one thing I always talk about, the social side of things, and unfortunately, in the world of science and stuff, that kind of does take a back seat sometimes. You know what I mean? Because you're about the goal, the focus, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing, but it's sometimes a good reminder. Hey, no, you need the well-rounded person. You need to know the numbers, but you need to know how to talk to people at every level.
Right. And this camp is also good for homeschoolers.
Absolutely.
We've had some homeschoolers, and they loved it.
Because it's group settings, it's all social.
Right. But it's small.
And to be honest, the one thing that when people put a knock on homeschooling is that lack of this will make up for that one area where you can't always meet that need for your
right,
child.
and it's only 1 week, so it's not as threatening as a whole school year.
And I'm going to take a stab. They're probably going to make some friends that they're going to want to hang out with and talk to, and have some kind of relationship with after camp. Maybe they're lucky enough to live in your neighborhood, but they might live on the other side of town or in Texas. But
this is Roswell.
Exactly.
It takes 10 minutes to get there.
Exactly. And even so, now that when they get old enough and appropriate enough to have a social media page, and if it's one of the Texas kids, they can make friends on Facebook or whatever. But that's what I'm saying is that because, especially when you're in group settings and you hang out with a kid all day, you tend to, by the end of the week, you're pretty good friends.
Right, exactly.
It just happens. So.
Well, kind of like going back to Iceland. I was on a bus with my sister and 10 other people, and we
all know each other very well by the end, don't you?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that was 6 days. So
anytime cruise ship or anything like that, you tend to run into the same certain people sometimes, and you're just, oh, hey, how's it going? Especially if you eat together at a table like you do on cruise ships.
Right. So camp invention is,
very much like that. Yeah. It's a social construct, just like everything else. But again, if you have a child entering kindergarten, going through 6th grade, they're going to benefit from this. This is especially, we're still messing with recovering from COVID, and kids are still catching up from that kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff you need to supplement and enrich.
Right.
Your whatever your kid's doing for education. This is the kind of add-on stuff. This is the kind of, because some of the things they're learning in school, they may learn it here, but they're going to learn in a way that they're going to retain it here. That makes sense? Like, they teach them formulas and all this, but now they're saying, see what the formula does.
Right,
Look what this does here. And so whatever they're learning in school, this kind of cements in the importance of what they're learning. That's what's so cool about this. So please sign your kid up. It gives, if they get boring with the number, when you show them what you can do with it, this is what, and that's why Camp Invention's so great, because it's literally saying, see this amazing thing? Science taught me this.
Right.
Math taught me this.
Exactly.
That's what's cool about it. And so every kid is going to be a scientist by the week's out. They're going to, even if that wasn't initially what they're in, I guarantee by the time they go, they're going to at least have a curiosity and an interest in it. I'm not saying they're going to be the next, scientist that invents the next widget, but they're going to have an understanding. And that's just conceptually. We don't have to grow up to be scientists, but when you see why the sun's doing what it's doing, and your kid says, why is the sun doing what it's doing, you can give an answer saying, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the very least, you have an understanding of what's going on around you.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty, So whether your child becomes the next Professor so-and-so or just ends up to, being a real estate agent when it's going to be great stuff that serves them the rest of their life.
Right.
That's just it. So sign your child up. And if $290 sounds like a lot of money to you, talk to Peggy. Let's see if we can help you make that a more manageable number for you.
Right.
But call her direct. Again, if you need the discounts for the bigger than the $15, call Peggy direct 575-420-9955 or shoot her an email, the letter P, Bolin, BOHLIN 2016 @gmail.com.
And I have scholarships, and I'm willing to spend it.
And this is why people are donating this.
Right.
This is why they want you to go to camp. They want your child to have an experience that, for whatever reason, couldn't have done
Kids from all of the schools, not just,
But don't wait, because we're capping at 70, and there's
75.
already 75. I'm sorry, and we've already had a lot of people sign up. If you wait another month, you may be on the outside looking in. Just telling you. So don't wait till closer to June to sign up for this camp. Get it done in April, because I can't guarantee May.
And you can always Google Camp Invention or invent.org and bring up the camp and just check it out.
Absolutely. Good deal. Well, thank you, Peggy.
All right, thank you.
And welcome back to Iceland. And I'm sorry, not as nice here as it is there.
I had Mexican food the other day. It was amazing. Yes.
Excellent. All right, 9:59. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
U.S. tech giants are preparing to release their latest earnings reports following the recent spate of market turmoil. Big Tech's Magnificent Seven, it's a group consisting of Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA, Amazon, Tesla, Alphabet, and Meta, kick off their earnings season this week. China is warning other countries against making trade deals with the U.S. that would harm China. Governments, including those of Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea, have started talks with Washington after President Trump announced sweeping tariffs against most of America's trading partners on April 2nd. The import taxes were mostly paused shortly after they were announced, but Mr. Trump increased already steep tariffs on China. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. We have high pressure parked over the desert southwest, and that'll be keeping things sunny for us. Our afternoon highs in the mid-80s. For the overnight hours, we'll have clear skies and our low in the mid-40s. Looks like mid-80s again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we keep the sunshine. We'll start warming up a little bit on Thursday. We're back in the upper 80s, but it will stay sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Step up to the plate and save at Roswell Honda. Now through the end of the month, the bases are loaded with savings, so you can score a home run and drive home a winner. Like 2.99% APR for 48 months on new Honda HRVs, 2.99% for 36 months on new Pilot, or 1.99% for 36 months on new Honda Ridgeline. Plus, major league savings across the lot on a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Step up to the plate and drive it home. Now through the end of the month at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio.